Ooh. Oh, that's right. That's right.
That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERXradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for, live from the KERN studio. Here's Ralph Bailey.
Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good afternoon to you wherever you may be, however you may be listening, or however you may be viewing. Me trying to get in a chair for those subscribing on YouTube. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on a Thursday, and we've got another busy broadcast. A lot of guests on the program today, which I'm sure you're very happy with. More guests, less Ralph. Coming up at the bottom of that, we're going to talk with Cassie Biddle, local planning commissioner, restaurateur, and overall good egg. She sat in on the plan to solve our jail space problem. We will talk with her and find out what went on in this think tank. It is a Thursday, so Mike Turnbussy will be here at 4 o'clock. And we'll talk with our money man, Daniel Petrie. Will Jerome Powell do more than he has? And it's Ryder Cup week beginning tomorrow. In fact, the pairings for alternate shot, which is the first, the first round of the first day of play at Bethpage Black, the very, very famous course that I was told yesterday in the chat room is in Long Island. I think I said it was in upstate New York, but apparently it is on Long Island. And our good friend Alan Cornejo is either winging his way there or is soon to be there. In fact, God dang it, I meant to try to get his number and see if he could be our correspondent from Long Island. But Nick Ragone, of course, will join us in the 5 and get us his thoughts on that. And I'm pretty sure it's, well, I don't know if I should say it. We're only up 8-0, so I'm not really sure if I should say it.
Do you? No, you're right. Never mind. I'll take it back.
And Randy, as I was walking out, told me Tanner Scott was coming in. And he was like, no. This is the perfect situation for him. Let him get some confidence, 8-0. I said, between him and Dave Roberts, it'll be 9-8 in about 10 minutes. You kidding me? But Yoshinobu Yamamoto pitched sterling again. You know, he should be the Cy Young Award winner. He and Paul Skeens should have the award for best pitchers who never get any kind of support. Do you know that in the last 3 games, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, his ERA is 0.89? The 0.89. The batting average, last 3 games, is 0.47. They're hitting 47. Hell, our guys hit better than that. Our guys hitting the 190s. He's given up 3 hits in his last 3 starts, and he's averaging 11.6 strikeouts per 9 innings. And I didn't check it out, but I bet he's won one of those games out of the 3 starts. Isn't that incredible? And Paul Skeens for Pittsburgh has a 1.29 ERA. How you know? All right, then what's his record, Mr. Sports Host?
That one I don't know. I just know it's 19.
Well, what do you think it is with a 1.92?
But it should be at least 12 wins, but I know it's nowhere close to that.
10-10. Can you imagine having an ERA less than 2? I give up less than 2 runs a game and I'm 500. I'm 10-10. I've lost 10 games because my guys either got shut out or scored 1 or 2 runs and we lose.
Jeff Passett
Jeez.
maybe. Because I'm watching McAfee talking about every goal in baseball, and he looked at McAfee and said, Pirates are 3 bats away from being a playoff contender. 3?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting weekend, though. Detroit has totally crapped the bed and allowed Cleveland to get back into it. In fact, they're going at it today. It just started, as a matter of fact. And the Mets are trying to hang on with, don't tell me, the Reds breathing down their neck. And the Reds won today. The Reds beat Pittsburgh today 2-1. So the Mets, I don't know, who would y'all rather see? Soto or the Reds? The Reds, I think, have a better pitching staff than the Mets. But Soto and some of those guys over there, who's the shortstop? Yeah, they scare me. I don't know why.
Yeah, no,
I'd rather see the Reds.
I'd rather see the Reds as well, but that's just because I don't like the Mets whatsoever.
I hate the Mets too. And we've had good luck in the playoffs against the Mets, but we'll talk about that at some point. Shohei hit his 54th. Are you still trying to insist that my guy is not going to be the MVP? Really?
Hate it, but I have to ride with my guy. It's like saying Yankee fans are going to concede that Cal is better than Justin.
You can't discount his pitching. That would be like if your guy, if Shohei just was a DH and your guy was hitting the way he's hitting and he was a Golden Glove right fielder. And I said, well, you can't count that he's a Golden Glove right fielder. Of course you can. That's part of being an MVP. And this guy is not only gone back-to-back years with 54 home runs, he's got 30 less RBIs than last year. Because I was thinking to myself, I was telling Randy, and we started looking at the stats. I said, he's about to hit more home runs than he did last year. And I know he's certainly not close to the amount of stolen bases that he had last year, but it just doesn't seem like he had this as good a year this year as he did last year. And he didn't. He's got like 30 less RBIs. He's got like 15 less doubles. He's hitting 280, which I can totally live with, but it just doesn't seem like he's having the same year, even though he's going to hit more home runs. 54, that's pretty impressive. Not as impressive as the dumper. Switch hitting catcher. That's just stupid. That's crap. I've never heard of that. Johnny Bench is somewhere having cocktails, thinking, damn, I ain't never heard of that. Even Mickey Mantle is spinning in his grave. I was a center fielder. This guy was a catcher. Because I always thought Mickey Mantle was the best switch hitter I ever saw. Sorry, Pete. I know Pete's the greatest numerical hitter, but nobody ever talks about Pete Rose as being one of the best hitters ever, which is kind of weird given that he's got like 12,000 hits. You know what I mean? But he's never in the conversation. It's always Teddy Ballgame is clearly the best hitter, but it's either Teddy Ballgame, Rogers Hornsby, maybe Joe D, but it's never, or Stan Musial, those guys, but it's
I
never.
feel like the betting thing kind of is the reason for that, though, because everybody kind of sees him as a pariah. They really don't bring him up at all.
And he just didn't have the batting average that these guys had. I mean, Pete was good, and he got a lot of hits because he had a lot of long career, and but he did 310, 315. Teddy Ballgame, come on, came back from Korea at 38 years of age and hit like 345, 350. What are you gonna do? But we begin today with new news from Dallas about Joshua John, the attacker, the alleged attacker on the Dallas field house, the ICE immigration field facility down in Dallas. And he has made it clear, apparently, that this attack was meant for the ICE agents He just simply failed, killing one detainee. And here's some audio from Nancy Larson. She's the acting U.S. Attorney General in the Northeast.
These loose notes included a game plan of the attack and target areas at the facility. He called the ICE employees people showing up to collect a dirty paycheck. He wrote that he intended to maximize lethality against ICE personnel and to maximize property damage at the facility. He hoped to minimize any collateral damage or injury to the detainees and any other innocent people. It seems that he did not intend to kill the detainees or harm them. It's clear from these notes that he was targeting ICE agents and ICE personnel.
Tried to tell you the violence is going to stop. And I've got some chilling audio. Did I send you that compilation? I send you any compilation of audio? Then I've got it on my phone. I'll play it. This is all coming from the left. And I'm not going to apologize anymore. You know, when I first started talking about this, first I didn't talk about it. Then when I did, I said, you know, I shouldn't, but I am, because they're trying to put it back on us or trying to act ignorant of what they've done. But now it's irrefutable that this is coming from the left, because now it is even continuing. Even in the wake of Charlie Kirk's death, the wake of 2 attempted assassinations on the President of the United States, and now an attack on an ICE facility, there is no question that this is coming from the left. And the way they've attacked ICE agents, and this is all coming in the wake. Why I'm doing a radio show. Unless this is relevant, Mike Big Dog, you gotta give me a break, bruh. Banda was money in the ninth. Okay, great. I'm not happy with my friend Mike Big Dog. He ruined the damn game for me last night. Yeah, twice. He called me, he texted me about something. I'm way behind him. I'm watching Abby Phillip, and I'm like, Mike, I'm behind you. Okay. Then I'm still watching Abby Phillip, and he's like, darn it. And so I'm like, well, I didn't even watch the end of the game. And then finally, I thought I was going to watch the post-game show, and the game was still going on my deal. Maybe I stopped it early. This was right before I started texting. So yeah, I caught up in the 9th inning. Yeah. I caught the 9th inning live when Blake tried to give it away again. That's what I'm saying. 8-0. I'm still holding my breath, Jack. Just saying. Oh no, he just said that Bonda got it done. So we clinched for what, the 12th time in 14 years? Doesn't mean a damn thing. And I'm telling you, if I see 66 on that field in this next 2 out of 3 series, because now they proved it. They went to Clayton last night, finally, and then you go to Clayton for just 1 inning. I didn't understand that. And then you bring back this whole core of idiots again. And Blake Trinan did his best. Oh, he did his best. He loaded the bases with 2 outs, and I thought for sure he was going to walk a guy. Came in and hit somebody. Was it him or Tanner Scott? Somebody came in and hit somebody, then walked somebody. It's like, what the hell is going on? That was Trinan? Against a bad team. We're struggling. Maybe we can go back to back. I don't know. Let's go ahead and take our first break of the day. We'll come back. I've got some more audio from Nancy Larson, the acting U.S. Attorney General. And then I've got some audio that I want to play that it is the left that's doing this. You know, when you call somebody a Nazi, that gives wackadoos almost justification for what they're doing. And let me ask you guys, have you heard the term Nazi used more? I mean, I thought we put that to bed. And now it's like a common term that's tossed around. We saw a school teacher in South Carolina lose her job when she said one Nazi down when Charlie Kirk died. We saw a woman in Chesterfield, Virginia, have to resign from the school board because she said something to the effect, I thought we were good with shooting Nazis. And when you use that kind of, it's one thing to call somebody fat, stupid, ignorant. But when, again, like I always say, when you get into the Third Reich, when you get into a comparison with a group of people that wiped out 6 million human beings, you've separated them. and you give wackadoos who don't want to live anymore absolute justification for laying on a roof and shooting up the place. And you can't walk away from that responsibility. I say to the left, liberal Democrats, AOC, Omar, the whole bunch of you. In the meantime, it's the Ralph Bailey Show. Cassie Biddle's going to join us at the bottom of the hour. And then it's our Thursday usuals, Mike Turnipseed, Daniel Petrie, and Nick Ragone on tomorrow morning's Ryder Cup in the 5. You're listening on a Thursday to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I have no water. No. I bought 2 things of water, and they're sitting on my coffee table. Yeah, but I won't drink it when I get home. I'll have my little half a margarita. Yeah, you're right. I have to. There's it's weird. Like I can go one day without like drinking 60, 70, 80 ounces, and my urine goes yellow, like root beer. And if I just drink 80 ounces, looks like rain. It's crazy. And that's got to be healthier, obviously. Man, when I'm on it, it's damn near clear. It looks like it's less than lemonade. Yeah, it's damn near clear. That's what I'm trying to. I always get screwed on the weekends. I just don't drink water at home. Did you see our girl today? Not her, the blonde. Ooh. She peeked in here too. I know she's married. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Ooh, I got to hit her up. I forgot about that.
Personal, precise, and as stress-free as possible. That's why I personally designed every project with using state-of-the-art three-dimensional software, so you can see exactly what your new space will look like, even before construction begins. No guesswork, no surprises, just clear vision brought to life. And I believe in guiding you through every step of the process. I shop with cabinets, countertops, fixtures, so you get the perfect combination of style and function. We work with top quality American-made cabinet brands like Waypoint, Medallion to ensure long-lasting beauty and craftsmanship. If you're ready to turn your vision into reality, let's design.
Hey, Lisa. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet of you. Thank you. Did you hear that on here?
Yeah.
Or on the show?
On YouTube.
Oh, I need to
We
keep.
can't hear Chris, but that's okay.
Oh, they can't hear you?
Jared turns that down.
Why?
Year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank.
The Charlie Kirk Show, weekdays at
Did
6
you all hear
p.m.
Chris?
on News Talk 96.1
Hello?
and AM 1180
They'll find out right now.
KERN. Now, back to
Oh,
the
that's right.
Ralph Bailey Show.
All right, talk, Chris.
Hello.
Say a sentence. Would
I
you
don't know.
please?
Yeah, hopefully you guys can hear me now.
Can you all hear him?
Volumes fluctuate quite a bit on these here streams.
Well, they're not saying anything, so.
I'm sure they can hear me.
All
If
right.
not, I'll get a text message about it in a second.
Lovely Lisa. See, that's why I keep my mic on. Lovely Lisa was sitting in her traffic department and heard I didn't have any water. And she brought me water. Thank you. I have to take my medicine in about 45 minutes. Plus, I need to stay hydrated. 842-537-6842 KERN. I'm thinking I'm going to have to play this audio a little bit later. Yeah. No, I think I got it. Let's hear this. Let me see if I can. It has an intro of somebody who has nothing to do with the audio. So I'm going to see if I can.
Just FYI for you as well. Text came through.
Yeah.
Alan Cornejo's wife has supplied us with his number.
Oh, really? Oh, cool. Outstanding. I thought she was going.
Oh, maybe she's listening.
All right, here you go. Here's the audio.
Netflix employees stage her walkout.
Oh, no.
Wrong one.
Yeah, wrong audio. All right, forget it. Sweet. We've got a correspondent live from Long Island. That's outstanding. Thank you, Mrs. Cornejo. I've never
Give it to
met
you tonight before you leave.
Yeah, I've never met Alan's wife. That's outstanding. That really is. That'll be cool. And like I said, Nick Ragone's going to join us at the top of the hour. The pairings just came out for alternate shot, where the Americans normally don't do well. And the big story is Bryson DeChambeau and Rory McIlroy. They kind of had separate. In fact, we have some audio we're going to play a little bit later of Bryson DeChambeau being asked about that. But in the meantime, I honestly believe that we're going to see more violence. There's a Quinnipiac poll that says that 79% of America thinks that we're in a political crisis right now. You know, look, this isn't the first time. If you're aware of history, if you really know history, we've gone through violent eras. We've gone through periods where it seemed as if democracy was in jeopardy. I mean, what do you think the 1920s were like when Prohibition hit and the mafia light bulbs went on over mafiosos' heads, where they didn't have to do prostitution and drugs and gambling? They had a whole new industry that absolutely fueled the 20s. And not only fueled the 20s and the rise of the mafia, but it fueled gang fights and gang wars. Hell, Al Capone once shot 7 people at one time. And so I'm sure many of you are aware of the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, where he had some of his hoods act as cops, and he thought he was killing his arch rival. And the leader absolutely didn't show up. He didn't even get the leader. I think his name was O'Bannon, and lined up a bunch of guys up against the wall, 7 of them, and whacked them. If you've seen the movie Some Like It Hot with Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon, where they acted dress up as women, that scene is based off the Al Capone hit. Have we seen political violence like this? Yes. You know, people don't forget Franklin Roosevelt got shot at twice. Teddy Roosevelt gave a speech with a bullet in his chest. How many times they tried to kill Gerald Ford? I was a freshman in college when Ronald Reagan was shot. We are a violent nation. This kind of thing, though, we've never seen. In the midst of our heralded governor, who's running for president, trying to take the masks, or actually signing a law taking the masks off our ICE agents, calling them cowards and saying something like, "What do you have to hide? What are you, stupid? You really don't know why these guys are forced to put masks on their face?" And the crazy thing about what liberals won't admit, many of these kids that are signed up as ICE agents are Latinos. They don't like what they're doing any more than the liberals like what's going on, but they have a job to do. What do you expect them, now that the policy has changed under Donald Trump, they're going to quit their job as ICE agents and just move on and go sell shoes? I mean, come on. Show some respect for law enforcement. And now it's evinced itself. And you know, the initial, well, we don't know the motivation. What are you talking about? Here's more from Nancy Larson, acting U.S. Attorney General.
He hoped his actions would terrorize ICE employees and interfere with their work, which he called human trafficking. And this, what he did, is the very definition of terrorism.
Intimidate, terrorize, and interfere with their work. And wait till you hear this audio. We got to talk to Cassie Biddle about this jail space, but at some point in the 3 o'clock hour, I'm going to play this compilation of audio of Karen Bass and local Democrats saying, fight, fight. We've got to go to war. We've got to take it to the streets. Fascism, Nazis, etc., etc. They really don't comprehend that for the overwhelming majority of Americans, they can hear that kind of rhetoric and not act. But as I've tried to scream for the last 3 or 4 or 5, 6 months, we are in a pandemic of mental health issues. It evinces itself damn near weekly with some 18 to 30-year-old Caucasian male who's given up on life, is going to take his own life, and is going to go out in a hail of bullets. Quick time out. We will talk to local restaurateur, planning commissioner, Cassie Biddle. Don't go anywhere.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump has signed an executive order declaring that a proposed deal allowing TikTok to continue operating in the United States will be a qualified sale that meets national security concerns laid out by the law. Much is still unknown about the actual arrangement, but Trump said Chinese President Xi Jinping gave us the go-ahead to proceed with the deal. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has summoned hundreds of generals and admirals to a base in Northern Virginia for a sudden meeting next week. The directive doesn't offer a reason for the gathering Tuesday of senior commanders of the one-star rank or higher and their top advisors. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 174 points, the Nasdaq dropped 113. More details at srnnews.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Bill Robbins. A boy has to spend at least 3 years in a youth detention facility for a shooting at Heritage Park where a woman lost her life. Anthony Lopez was 15 years old when he shot and killed the woman at Heritage Park. Lopez was sentenced in juvenile court for the death of 23-year-old Margarita Perez. He was charged with involuntary manslaughter with a gun. Drivers in Bakersfield got a little reminder Wednesday morning that you must yield to pedestrians in the crosswalk. CHP Bakersfield conducted an operation and issued 28 citations to drivers who failed to yield. CHP reminds you that you must stop for pedestrians in marked and unmarked crosswalks and always slow down near schools, parks, and neighborhoods. I'm Bill Robbins in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Seems like there's more identity theft in the news every day.
Another major healthcare breach was reported today, resulting in the exposure of 1 in 4 consumers have been a victim of identity.
That's because there are endless places that could accidentally expose you to identity theft, in a breach, or simply by mistake. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
I don't serve for the recognition. I serve the flag. The red, white, and blue, that means everything to me. And when I fly it, I know it stands for something real. My name is Megan Terry, and I serve in the U.S. Army, which is why I choose Collins flags. Because every Collins American and military flag is made here in the USA, stitched with pride and built to last. And they support veterans like me because they know what these flags really mean. So if you love our service members and our country like I do, fly a flag that honors them and supports American jobs. Visit collinsflags.com today. American made, proudly waved.
The JR Show.
So the city council moved forward the idea of renaming South 8th Street to Avocado, de Cesar Chavez. I don't know, whatever. Look, it's not the name that bothers me. It could have been Cesar Chavez. It could have been Martin Luther King Jr. It could have been Buck Owens. It does not matter. At a time like this, when we don't have the money, how are we going to spend, from what I'm told, over $1 million to do a street name change? It's just not the right time to do it.
The JR Show. Weekdays at 2 p.m. The Armstrong and Getty Show. Weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1
Hey,
and AM 1180.
I said that when you cut it up,
KERN.
start it where
Now,
Hillary starts
back to the
talking.
Ralph Bailey Show.
Lord, mercy me. All things ain't what they used to be. No, all wasted on the oceans and upon our seas.
You know, ever since that story came, his dad, the day that he got shot, Marvin Gaye. I mean, you can't beat up your dad. I don't know what drug problem you're having. He moved back in with his parents to try to fight his drug problem. And he was the one that gave his father the gun, actually. And a recent LA Times article came out with what didn't come out when the shooting first occurred, that his dad, the reason his dad didn't go to jail is because Marvin beat him up. He thought he was mistreating his mother, and it beat the crap out of him. He had bruises on his ribs where he'd been kicked and all kinds of stuff. In the meantime, the city called together not only city leaders, but community leaders, like our next guest, planning commissioner, restaurateur, and overall good egg, Cassie Biddle, to try to help fight our jail space problem. Cassie, thanks for coming on the program.
Thanks for having me, Ralph.
Yeah. So what did you all solve last night?
Just like any complicated issue, nothing is going to be solved over one roundtable meeting, and it's not going to be solved overnight, or probably not even in the next 6 months. But
Yeah, I was being sarcastic.
I know you were, but that's really what a lot of people expect, and I know that's where a lot of the frustrations come into play with our leaders here in Kern County. Is everybody wants to find the overnight solution, and it wasn't an overnight solution to be able to get Proposition 36 passed. It took quite a few years to get that. So with that being said, we have new tools in our toolbox this year, and there is more for us to be able to do. So now it's time to come together and figure out, how do we hold these individuals for longer than 6 to 12 hours?
Yeah. Were there any cogent suggestions tossed about?
There was lots of suggestions, lots of different ways to go about this. But number one thing that we're looking at constraint-wise is bodies and money. It takes lots of money, and it takes actual employees to be able to implement any of these items. So it's going to take some time to be able to figure out where's our money best spent, where's our time best spent, and how do we go about this over the next year. So I think that they got some good action items to walk away from, but it's important that we stay on our leaders and make sure that this isn't just a publicity stunt where we're just bringing up issues to talk about them, but not actually take action on them.
Well, at the end of the day, the bottom line is manpower, is it not? And I don't know how municipal leadership, particularly ours, don't get me started, I'll be nice, but how do you solve that? If you can't attract people, we've thrown out some great carrots, housing advantages, bonuses, we'll move you here, this kind of thing. You can eat at Casey Steakhouse for free. I mean, we're throwing all kind of things out there.
Hey, now you're really cleaning the pie there, aren't you?
But I mean,
it is.
Isn't that the issue at the end of the day?
It is. It is getting people to want to take these jobs. They're not the luxurious jobs. It's not riding around in a squad car, being able to be part of the action. Being in the jails is one of the least sought after positions, and in my opinion, one of the most important positions.
Yeah.
So it's really educating our public and our youth that these are great, good paying jobs that give great benefits and good time off with vacations. So as it may not be a luxurious job, it is a great job for someone coming straight out of high school. To be a deputy and out on the streets, I believe you have to be 21 and older, which thank God, if they're out dealing with the public, we do want them a little bit older, but it gives some of our younger people the opportunity to get their feet wet and get into law enforcement. So if anybody knows anybody that's graduating high school soon or looking for that career change, there really is no age restrictions. You've got to start somewhere. So if you're looking for something new, please look into becoming a corrections officer. It is a good paying job.
Cassie Biddle is our guest. She's the owner operator of Casey's Steakhouse on F Street. If you have not been there, I don't understand what's going on with you. And if you are a patron of Casey's Steakhouse and haven't been to the Stockyard next, you need to do that as well. Did you speak up? Any suggestions from Casey's Steakhouse?
I am one of those that screams from the rooftops that our leaders are willing to hear us. So I had the privilege of going down to the sheriff's department and having a meeting with Donnie on Tuesday before the meeting and getting his insight on where the state of the county and where the sheriff's at. And then by going on Wednesday, we have our meetings with the police department. They hold a downtown meeting for all business owners where we get to meet with the downtown task force and really talk about the issues that we're having as downtown businesses. They show us some of the top 25 offenders, some that they've had some good casework with, and we've been able to pick up a few of them. And this Wednesday, one of the individuals that they picked up, it was really sad to see, but he was one of my friends from the alleyway, just showing, you never know who's out there. But Peanut was picked up a couple weeks ago for grand theft and burglarizing, and they actually had him on video. So our people are working hard and they're working strong. And I think that these meetings are important to keep them knowledgeable about what we need to do. And so, I mean, yesterday's meeting, it was only an hour. There really wasn't a whole lot that could be done. I sure hope they take, the suggestions and the list, because it was a listening session, as they call it. That's really what I spoke up about, was we need to find a way to hold accountability, because as of right now, we have all of the services being provided. We are working very hard to be able to get these individuals to the care that they need, whether it be a jail cell or it be mental health or addiction services.
Yeah. Just to explain who Peanut is, and I don't even know who Peanut is, but I know he is one of the many that Cassie befriends. Casey Steakhouse, as most of you know, is located on F Street, and it's in a very retail area, and it's a very heavily homeless populated area. And Cassie, for lack of a better word, adopts some of these folks and has her sweep her parking lot and tries to put them to work and tries to get them up on their feet. And you said one of your guys got popped, huh?
Yeah, we try to work with Flood Ministries and the people in the streets. So we don't give money. That's one thing I can tell everybody. Please do not give cash. Do not give money to any of these individuals. Addiction is a very scary place to be, and when that cash is in your hands, you hope that they buy the hamburger. They're gonna buy the drug.
Yeah, you're enabling them. You're absolutely enabling them.
It is. Whenever you get the opportunity or you see somebody that looks like they'd be closer to services, give Flood Ministries a call or give the non-emergency line for the police department a call, and they will dispatch somebody to try to get them up off the streets. But Peanut was one of those ones that would come through and, tries to get to know everybody, but you want to know who's in your alleyway and who's coming through on a daily basis, and always seems harmless, but you don't know who they are. You don't know them as where their past used to be, and when they get back on the drugs, you don't know where their mind takes them. So Peanut was one of those that got picked up, and it's very sad to see, but unfortunately that's the reality of our streets. There are criminals, there are addicts, there are trauma survivors, there's a whole mix, and the only way we're going to be able to get them into the services needed is to hold them longer than 6 to 12 hours.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And as you know, I have a new tenant on the side of our building. I'm not sure.
My mom and I ran to Costco today to get a few things, and as we're pulling up, and she goes, "Isn't that where Ralph lives?" And I go, "Yeah." And she goes, he has a new neighbor. Well, she's been there a while, Mom. It's not funny. He talks about it quite frequently.
Yeah, it's been about 2 or 3 weeks, I think.
And that's where we've got to call, and that's why I beg and plead with everybody. I will be honest, I haven't called on that one.
Should I call?
A few pictures.
Who should I call? Flood Ministries?
Yes, you can call Flood Ministries. You can call the non-emergency number to the BPD. You can call 211. There's several different ways that you can get help for those individuals. We also have the Bakersfield mobile app. So when you start to see an encampment form like that, because she's not there at all hours, if she's starting to build quite a large encampment,
it's got a tent and the whole bit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you take a picture of that, and code enforcement is very quick to respond on our city mobile app. So if you haven't downloaded that yet, it's the Bakersfield mobile. I highly recommend everybody. I use it quite often, and it keeps a log of all the different times that you've had requests for service too. So that gives you a little bit more information when you need to contact your council member or city leaders when you have multiple issues.
That's good to know. That's good to know. Any final thoughts on last night?
I was glad to see certain individuals like Michael Bowers at the table. There was individuals there representing, our domestic violence. And so there's a lot of different minds that are working towards how do we make this community a better place. And that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to put everybody into a jail cell. So it may be the jail bed, committee. I can't remember what they called it, but that's not what our purpose is here. Our purpose is to be able to get our hands on people long enough to figure out where their issues are and how we can help get them on to the next step, instead of this recidivism of tying up our police officers and costing our businesses lots and lots of money and keeping our properties secure and clean. So
Yeah.
I know that it sounds like we're spinning our wheels, but in reality, we are moving closer to a solution. So thank you for being able to talk about this, and hopefully more community members get involved when it comes to Proposition 36 and how it gets enforced.
Was even the subject of institutionalizing folks addressed at all?
Very much so. And I think that, talking to our Superior Court judges and those in law enforcement about what we can do for a lot of these individuals that are gravely disabled. Those ones that you just drive past and you think you wouldn't even allow an animal to sit out on a street and live this way. Why on earth would we allow a fellow brother or sister live in this way?
Yeah.
So that is definitely in the works. I mean, we see a lot of proposition money in the works in Bakersfield. They are opening up centers. I know Gilbert was there from the Bakersfield Recovery Services. And a lot of times with addiction comes mental health issues. So there are open beds. There are definitely a lot of resources. If you don't have insurance, there is Kern Family Health Systems is getting people signed up and getting you closer to the help that you need. So if you feel like you don't have help, there is help available here in Bakersfield. They're moving fast.
Yeah, that's good to hear. All right, I'm a skosh more optimistic, but just a skosh,
Same. Same. It's been a long time, and we started seeing this back in 2012, 2014, 2016, when we saw these different propositions enacted. It was by the will of the people that we saw Proposition 47, 57 come about.
Yeah.
So it's the will of the people by over 70% that Proposition 36 was implemented. So we got to see it work.
Yeah, we need to fund it too.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time, Ralph.
Thanks for taking the time. We appreciate it. Love you, girlie. Talk to you soon.
Love you tonight.
Okay.
Love you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I don't think she's going to see me tonight. Oh, it is a Thursday. She just might see me tonight, actually. She just might. As we go to break, we'll come back and talk a little bit more about just the overall tenor of the United States and where we're headed. And is it reparable? I personally don't think so. I think we have to kind of just hold on tight, because I think we are in the midst of a very violent period where young people are disengaged. They're not marrying, they're not having children, they're not talking to one another. And there are, I think, an inordinate amount of young men who are just willing to quit before they're 30 years old. It's an absolute travesty. And we have a pandemic of mental illness. And until we do that and start moving people off the streets and putting them in mental institutions where they can be dealt with, she's right. We're doing them more harm than good by allowing them to waller on the streets. Makes absolutely no sense. Quick break. We'll check the board, see what you all are talking about. I have some audio that I've sent to Chris that we'll play for you when we come back as well. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on a Thursday, right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN, and we're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Start your day right. First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Friday edition of the First Look program, there is a serial killer apparently on the loose in Houston, Texas. The world is going crazy. Plus, Coach Rod Barnes is out at Cal State. I don't know what's up with that, but it's not great. We'll have all that, plus news, traffic, and weather. It's all happening at 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
This is your intrepid news reporter, Scoop Newsman, coming to you live from a helicopter high above the historic Santa Margarita Ranch. From this break reporter's lofty vantage point, I can see preparations are continuing for the return of the Jingle Bell Express that will whisk passengers to Santa's Village. Reports are that the historic Jingle Bell Express will be pulling amongst their cadre of rolling stock, genuine original Disney train cars. Once you arrive, kids and adults will be entertained like never before with a mystic magic show, a charming Christmas market, adorable pony rides, and more food, fun, and frivolity than ever. The Jingle Bell Express will be arriving at the historic Santa Margarita Ranch November 28th and running until December 21st. But get your tickets now. This reporter also has a source deep inside Santa's village that has confirmed that if your plans change, your tickets can change too from now until November. So make sure you reserve your seats on the Jingle Bell Express by going to christmas@themargarita.com before the Christmas train passes you by.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. $5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your team and focus on your future. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com. Introducing the IHOP Value Menu, where all your breakfast faves are just $6 each every day. Where else can you get a big, filling, sit-down breakfast for only $6? Go to your happy place with the $6 IHOP Value Menu. Available every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities, so do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
The Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, live 9 to noon. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
A penny. 842-5376, 842-KERN. Here is a compilation put together, I believe, by Fox, which illustrates exactly what we're talking about, how the Democrats turn their heads on their own language. And it begins, of course, with one of the worst losers in American history, short of Kamala Harris, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Into what I call the basket of deplorables. The racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it.
Or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware. They're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is just supporters.
You said
President of the
over
United
the weekend,
States.
referring to it, there's a direct parallel to a big rally that happened in the mid-1930s at Madison Square Garden.
Well,
You were comparing that rally to a Nazi rally?
look, I'm comparing it to the hate that came out of this, and I think they confirmed that.
Do you think Donald Trump?
That was
is a
Tim
fascist?
Walz.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
No one has ever been more dangerous to this country than Donald Trump, and he is a fascist to his core.
Hey, let me shut down the city! We are at war!
We're at war right now.
We are at war.
So you have to be willing to do whatever is necessary in order to save the country.
And that's why the gloves are off.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
And yes, there are many threats to democracy. See it with these extreme candidates.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be. But they can only push people so far. And then they start to take matters into their own hands.
What the American public want is for us to bring actual weapons to this bar fight. This is an actual fight.
You know, this is literally call to arms.
The MAGA movement is a threat. Michelle says that, when they go low, you go high. No. With all due respect, if they go low, we don't go high. When they go low, we kick them. We take them to the mud and choke them out.
And make sure that they stay down. And you know what? Pick them when they're down because they deserve it.
Get up in the face of some Congress people.
We are going to be in your face. We are going to be on your...
We have to fight this in the streets.
We're going to fight it in the streets. It's time to step out of your comfort zone and step out into the streets.
To our Republican colleagues, if you do not see the light, we will bring the fire. Resist! You and your little friend off of Twitter. Y'all about to find out. And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you stay in the crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
We're not going to have a good time. We may not finish this one.
Yes, the last few days you woke up thinking there might be news. There will be news sometime, just so you know, there will be news.
That was Tim Walz hoping that the president was dead. That was Maxine Waters telling you to confront them on sight. And what do you think Republicans are going to do when they hear that? What would you think a radical, even just you don't have to be an extremist, but you just heard her say, walk up to them at restaurants. So why wouldn't a normal guy be like, you told them to do it, we're going to do it. How's your fettuccine, Maxine? No, I'm not going anywhere. Not until the manager tells me to leave. I'm going to stay right here and tell you how bad that wig is you got on your head, woman. I mean, it's just crazy. War, Pocahontas saying people are going to take things into their own hands. You're fomenting this. And then walking away and scratching your heads and trying to understand how we got where we are. And in many times blaming the right when we absolutely know who these people are. And they act like, well, we don't really know the motivation. They're writing it on the bullets. They're telling you. You heard Nancy Larson, the U.S. Attorney General, talk about what he said. He's quoted as saying, yes, it was just me. We had a nitwit in the chat room here just a couple of days ago. Now, I think it was a teenager because I can't imagine any grown adult with a fully developed brain could say that the Charlie Kirk assassin was a patsy and compared it to Jesse Smollett's innocence. Because I don't know any adults that think that Jesse Smollett was innocent, and I haven't met an adult yet, even a Democrat, who thinks that Charlie Kirk's assassin was a patsy. So it was probably a child. But what if it wasn't? What if it's a free-thinking adult who's walking upright somewhere in our community? This is nuts. This is crazy. It is insane. And I'm telling you, it's only going to get worse because they're not going to stop. They are not going to stop. And in part, there is Republican blame, but come on. It's 70-30, easy, easy. It's called Trump derangement syndrome. And yes, Trump brings on some of it himself. I'm willing to admit that. I have been one Republican who's been willing to admit that Donald Trump isn't perfect. I don't have my head up his behind like so many Republicans. I know he has tremendous faults. For example, the I forget what they call it, the Walk of Fame, where they distributed pictures of all the presidents. And you may have heard this, you may have not. So you go down the wall and it's Bush and it's Obama and it's Trump and it's the auto pen. And then it's Trump. There's no picture of Joe Biden. Like, Donald, really? Why? Why is that necessary? In the White House, during the tours, young 12-year-olds are going to see that and ask, where's Joe Biden's picture? Well, they put an auto pen because politically the Republicans believe that Joe Willie wasn't running the presidency and other people were signing things for. I mean, come on. They're going to learn that because it's the truth. I agree. See, and that's my issue with Trump. I agree with what he's trying to say. You're right, Donald. Joe Biden was not running this country the last year and a half. Are you going? I mean, think about where he was. Think about that debate. Imagine him in the Situation Room when they're trying to go over something complicated. Come on. He's absolutely spot on. But, you know, it's like taking a cheap shot at a dirty football player. Yeah, he's a dirty football player, but you spearing the guy, you're just lowering yourself to his level. Just put his damn picture up on the wall, Donald. Come on. He earned it. He beat you. Maybe that's why he didn't put his picture on the wall, because he still doesn't think he lost. But it's that kind of pettiness that we don't need. They own it. Let them strangle themselves. Quick timeout. Mike Turnipseed joins us next.
This is AM 1180 KERN Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM Bakersfield.
Tell him, Chris. Tell him. Go ahead. Tell him. Tell him.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. This just in, James Comey has been charged with making a false statement and obstruction in a criminal case filed days after President Donald Trump appeared to urge his Attorney General to prosecute the former FBI director and other perceived political enemies. We'll have more on this story as it develops. A big meeting has been called for top U.S. military commanders.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has summoned hundreds of the military's top generals, admirals, and advisors for a meeting next week at the Marine Corps base in Quantico, Virginia. The directive did not offer a reason for the gathering, and people familiar with the matter described the move as unusual. The plan was first reported by the Washington Post and confirmed by at least 3 sources to the Associated Press. The Pentagon's top spokesman, Sean Parnell, also confirmed that Hegseth will be addressing his senior military leaders early next week. I'm Jennifer King.
The nation of Denmark reports suspicious drones over 4 different airports within its airspace last night. Correspondent Karen Chamas reports.
The Danish defense minister says it appears a professional actor was behind the systematic flights overnight, Wednesday into Thursday. He called the incidents a hybrid attack because the flights all occurred within roughly the same time frame. Authorities say it was not immediately clear who was behind the incidents, but there is no danger to the public. A similar incident at Copenhagen Airport grounded flights for hours on Monday night, prompting concerns that Russia could be behind it. I'm Karen Shammer.
President Trump has signed an executive order declaring that a proposed deal allowing TikTok to continue operating in the United States will be a qualified sale that meets national security concerns laid out by the law. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 174 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Dinesh D'Souza went into a war zone to make his new film, revealing never-before-seen footage of October 7th. The film offers a new way to understand Israel, radical Islam, anti-Semitism, and biblical prophecy.
Could the fate of the world be tied to this place?
Dinesh D'Souza's new film, The Dragon's Prophecy,
Yeah,
is
man, I
in
shot
theaters
86
2 nights
Saturday.
only, October 6th and 8th. Streaming and DVDs available October 9th. All tickets and pre-orders at thedragonsprophecyfilm.com. Thedragonsprophecyfilm.com.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
Could not believe how my hearing and life changed. Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Bill Robbins. A vehicle that crashed into a tree has left one man dead. Bakersfield police say it happened at around 1:30 this morning on Hageman Road, just east of Jewetta Avenue. The 24-year-old man was heading west in the 11,500 block of Hageman Road at high speed when he crashed into a tree. The impact caused him to be partially ejected from the vehicle. While ambulance responded, the man was declared dead at the scene. It's uncertain yet whether drugs or alcohol were factors in the crash. A federal court has ruled that Grimway Farms discriminated against disabled workers by forcing them into unpaid leave. According to the ruling, Grimway Farms failed to make reasonable accommodations for disabled workers. Dolores Huerta stated the conditions at Grimway were unsafe and that so many would get disabled there and the company would not take care of them. Beatrice Trejo is a workers' compensation specialist, and after reviewing the case, stated that the company did not follow the interactive process meant to help injured workers. After more than a year without a complete council, the city of Arvin welcomed new city council member Tim Tarver. Tarver expressing gratitude to those who supported him during Tuesday night's council meeting. Tarver is a former mayor and councilman. One of the community members who spoke up said that Tarver has already expressed his commitment to the community by his previous service on the council. Mayor Olivia Calderon says that Tarver's experience will help to guide the council. You can score free tickets to Cherry Acres Pumpkin Patch if you're willing to roll up your sleeves and make a donation to the Houchin Community Blood Bank. The promotion lasts from October 3rd through October 30th. All successful donors will receive a pair of tickets to Cherry Acres Pumpkin Patch while supplies last. I'm Bill Robbins in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
All day.
What do you think? This is the army where you shoot a mile away? You gotta get up close like this. Let them think you blow their brains all over your nice Ivy League suit.
I know I've got a great round goal.
It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Now make sure you beat the house when you make the call. You understand me? You hear me call from the outside line. I mean it.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com.
That was so much fun.
Now, the host you've been waiting all day for, live from the KERN studio. Here's Ralph Bailey.
Hour 2 of the broadcast on this Thursday. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com. Nothing but guests for almost the entire remaining portion of the broadcast. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, as per usual, Daniel Petrie will join us. And then tomorrow is day 1 of the Ryder Cup. So obviously we're off to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the new home of the marketing vice president, Nick Ragone, for Jefferson Health. Yes, he left Ascension in St. Louis. As he told us the last time, he's now in Philadelphia. And you better know I'm playing in that tournament 2026, Jack, with Saquon Barkley. He's all buddies now with all the Eagles. He was pals with Ozzie Smith and all the St. Louis Blues. And now within like 6 months, he's pals with Mike Quick, a former Eagle. I haven't heard Jason Kelsey's name come up yet, but he's played golf with Saquon Barkley, and it just makes me sick. We'll talk with him coming up at 5 o'clock. And I've got some other miscellaneous news notes. You know what we haven't talked about yet? Maybe I'll talk about it with my next guest. After 14 years, and I didn't realize that, he's been coaching basketball at CSUB longer than I've been here. Rod Barnes retired, and I was going to get him on the show, but I'm a journalist, and I would have to ask some tough questions. I'd have to bring up Hayes. I'd have to. Like, what was he like as a player? Did he have a problem as a player? Was there any hint that he was a alleged child pornographer and drug addict, et cetera, et cetera? So I just said, maybe in a little while, but I'd have to ask him those questions. So I just let it go. Do you guys have him on? You going to have him on your sports show?
We were thinking about it, but I, like you, kind of have a lot of questions in that area too. And I'm just like, I'd rather wait till it all dies down. Plus, I have my suspicions that this wasn't a retirement, but I will keep my suggestion to myself.
Why? What makes you think he was forced out?
Well, not necessarily forced out, but suggested out because they've been blowing up every team and firing every head coach for the last couple of years, including Greg McCaw, Jeremy Baird, and the softball coach, the swim coach, and a lot of other stuff. So
I think he did it on his own. I think he was just tired. 14 seasons is a long
That's a
time.
lot. That is a long time.
But I see a light bulb has gone over the head of our next guest. Hang on just a second. As the great Jackie Gleason used to say, oh, this ought to be rich. Mike Turnipseed, would you like to expound on the light bulb that just popped up on your head a minute ago while Chris was speaking?
Well, first of all, I think it was the athletic director. That was like a month ago. And then 2 weeks ago, the assistant basketball coach goes, and
So
now
you think they're cleaning
Mr.
house?
Barnes, and
You agree
it's
with
like,
Chris?
I think it's like what happened at Penn State.
Yeah.
Mr. Barnes might not know anything, but
You should have known something?
He should have known something.
Yeah.
That's what it,
So you think all these dismissals are related to Hayes? And if you don't know what we're talking about, there's an ex-player, and I'm shocked if you didn't, but there's an ex-player. What's his first name? Kevin?
Kevin Hayes. Yeah.
Kevin Hayes, who's been charged with human trafficking, and then they found child pornography and got into his home and found methamphetamine and a lot of marijuana. And you go to my house, you only don't find an eighth, but that's a whole other problem. But an eighth of an ounce, by the way, not a pound. But they found a lot of weed and a lot of meth, and it doesn't look good for Mr. Hayes.
No,
and apparently not for the whole entire basketball program. That's too bad.
yeah, because basketball, you
Used to
start
be our
playing in
deal.
a month. What, they play late October, November. They start practicing. I know.
You know, I was on campus the 2 seasons they went back to back. It was so much fun. And I knew all those guys. Kenny Warren used to cut my hair. I helped a lot of those guys write papers for them. You knew that. You knew that. I had a business. I had a very lucrative business. I charged them $50 a paper. There were three-page papers, double spaced, Mike. And I was the managing editor of the paper. Exactly. They would have a 9 o'clock class. I would have them meet me at 8:30 at the newspaper office. I would get to the newspaper office at 8, bang out this little tiny 3-page double spaced, that's like 500 words. I'd bang that out in like 20 minutes. Bang, there you go, $50. Thank you. Boom. And you know how it all came to an end? There was finally, I did it for like most of the team. And there was one kid who literally had problems writing complete sentences. So I couldn't give him an A or a B. So I intentionally, recommend 2 C's, 1 M, there, THIER, because the kid is getting a failing grade in the class. I can't give him an A or a B. So I gave him like a C, and he got mad and ratted me out. And I lied my behind off. Never heard of him, never seen him before. And no, I've never written a paper for anybody but Ralph Emerson Bailey Jr. It's the last big lie. Years. That's the last big lie I think I've ever told. It was either that or expulsion. I was facing expulsion right in the mug.
Okay.
I think I even volunteered.
You haven't lied since that.
Not like that. No, not a whopper like that. Well, we all tell little tiny little fibs every now and
especially
again.
on the golf course, right?
Yes. Shut up, Mike. Mike is alluding to he gives me a mulligan every now and again, and we don't really count that, I have admitted that Sam did give me 1 mulligan. After my 8, I went to 16, and I was, me, and I
know exactly.
I just tried to, and it went 30 yards. And I was walking back to the cart. I was walking back to the cart, and he tossed me a new ball. I didn't even ask. He tossed me another ball. I said, "Thanks, dude." I said, "All right, the bet's over." I didn't pay him. I won the bet, but I didn't pay him. I said, "If you're going to give me a mulligan, then I can't pay the bet. I'm not going to take your money." And I ended up making 4 on that hole too.
Man of integrity, Ralph
Well, I don't
Emerson
know about
Bailey.
that. I don't know about that because I'm still claiming I shot 86. Which technically
It's golf course, Ralph.
I did. Yeah, I'm playing Sunday. So
have fun.
Yeah, I always have fun. It's a good group.
I heard Cassie on your last half hour.
She was outstanding. And it was a very highly intelligent group of folks that they gathered. I'm not sure they moved the needle. What say you?
Nothing happened yesterday. I was there.
You were in the group?
I was observing.
You were in the room?
I was in the room.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Well,
And what was your take?
Nothing new. Everybody said, well, this is going on, that's going on. But if the city wants to solve the problem, like most of their problems, they have to realign their thinking and realign some funds to accomplish what they want to do, because they really don't have money right now.
Yeah.
Which
is crazy.
Tapped up, well, the measure and money it's all gone, going to different other projects. And the fact
they
is,
wasted it like a drug addict. They really did.
Well, no,
is that accurate?
I mean, that's not fair. I would say,
okay,
it's been about 6 years, so they've had about $600 million to spend, and 50% of it went to police and fire and the things they really wanted to do, and then they've gotten another 20% that's probably okay, but then that last 20% kind of got like
30.
buying. Well, I'm rounding off. Yeah, math. I think I was going to say is they started doing more pet projects and needed projects.
Thank you.
And I've been saying that from the beginning, because one thing about the city, they will tell you, well, we have spent millions of dollars on. They measure what they do by how much they spend. They don't measure what comes out the back door, the end product of what they do,
and how they change people's lives,
and how things are actually better. They don't quantify that, and the council never asks those kind of questions.
Yeah,
we spent $5 million on this. Oh, well, and I mean, I think the more I talk to people on the west side, I don't go to the west side very often, but they're taking the major thoroughfares and putting green paint everywhere and cutting the lanes down. And I was talking to a guy just this morning
with the bike lanes.
With the bike lanes, and they're now changing the way the stoplights work. Usually they try to sync the stoplights so traffic, once you get the speed,
right,
you can go through 2 or 3 miles without hitting the red light.
Right.
If you're driving the speed limit and everything. Well, now you're stopping at every intersection.
I noticed that. Coming down California, coming from Sundale.
Well,
and I didn't know whether it was because they were tearing up the street, but you're right. We caught every light from Stockdale to the freeway. We literally caught every single light coming down California.
And that is absolutely crazy what stoplights are about. You on your major street, you want the cars to keep flowing.
And this was on a Sunday morning where there were like 6, 7, 8 cars backed up, obviously because it's down to one lane, but still, like I said, I didn't even pay attention to that until you said that.
But I had somebody complain to me today about this. They even screwed up the lights now.
Yeah.
You can't just cruise down the big major roads in the Southwest anymore.
The jail space thing isn't solvable, is it? I mean, we can't get people to come here, and we can't get these kids to want to work in these jails.
That is a major problem. And
there's no theory, there's no policy that's going to change that.
When the city said, well, maybe we'll just take some of our young recruits and stick them over there, and the sheriff looked at, I think his assistant sheriff police chief said it. We can start moving some of these. You get out of the academy, we'll put them over there to work first.
They'll get eaten alive.
Not only eaten alive, they'll drive your recruiting. Because
do
police
what?
officers do not want to work in prison. Dry up recruiting for police officers. If they know they're going to have to go work in the jail for a year or two, they're not going to go come to the city. So the city has volunteered about sending, when we get kids out of the academy, we can start we'll put him over there and let him work a couple of years in the prison.
Didn't that used to be like a lucrative, desirable job? Because they all kind of, and let's be honest, they all kind of catch each other's back with overtime, and one guy will take off and the other guy will get his back and he gets overtime, and then another guy gets his back and he gets overtime, and a guy that's making, say, 80 ends up making $120,000 a year. And I thought it was like it was a desirable job because it was pretty damn good money, and they don't really do much. Yeah, they get into some rows, and I certainly wouldn't want to do it. You're surrounded by, that's the thing that people don't realize about law enforcement. You're surrounded by the scum of the scum 8 hours a day, every day of the week.
That's why people don't like working in jails. And
then you get the nuts that are throwing feces at you and acting stupid and doing all kind of crazy nonsense. And it's like, I don't need this. I don't need this. Don't blame them.
Well, but they're going to have to figure out how to solve the problem. And for some people, they keep saying, well, they have mental issues. Well, why are you letting them back out in the street?
Thank you.
And so
institutionalization, Mike, that's got to be.
They're going to have to think differently about how you treat the mentally ill, and can't just keep arresting them, then you let them out.
Well, that's a state issue. That's a national issue.
I know.
We've got to go back to mental institutions.
But you've got to have money invested into mental health. So the city, and there's a combination of things you can do, and they say they do some already, is like, even if you put an ankle bracelet on there, where you got the big screen up there and you can look, put it in a bracelet, you can see where they are at all the time and kind of monitor them around and do bracelets.
We're not willing to say the hard things. We're not willing to look in the mirror and admit things. There's a large percentage of these people that are never coming back, Mike, that are never coming back. And I'm not going to go as crazy as that idiot. I forget who said it. Somebody on Fox said we should kill them. Literally. They said they're so far gone, we should just kill them. No, but we should lock them up because they are a harm to themselves and they are a harm to others. And, we're doing them a better service to lock them up than we are to let them waller on the streets, in my opinion.
I would absolutely agree.
Then why can't we go back to that? Just the whole 70s, the bad experience we had with state hospitals?
Well, Jack Nicholson.
That's what I've always said. That's what I've always said.
Jack Nicholson killed behavioral health in America.
I have always said that because it happened during the rise of journalism, because it was post-Watergate, and journalists started looking under the rocks of these state hospitals, and they found amazing things. I told you my buddy, before he got on cyber security, I shouldn't be saying that, but he was in charge of this area, and he was busting nursing homes. And he said, Ralph, you would not believe some of the stuff I see. Just old folks with bed sores, haven't had their sheets changed in days and weeks. And he said it's an atrocity. And I think that's what fueled, we found that out about state hospitals in the 70s and the 80s. And it became infamous as opposed to part of what could be the solution. No?
That's what happened. I mean, I don't know how actually bad it was, but because we wasn't paying attention and I wasn't that old in those days to worry about that. But I think that Nurse Cratchit and Jack Nicholson and the whole
lobotomies and head the thing they put on your head, scrambling your brains and things like that. And a lot of those people in that movie were real patients, including Danny DeVito. No, that was a joke, Mike. DeVito was in the film, but no, he wasn't.
No, he was in the film, I think. Yeah.
He was in the film. Oh, yeah, definitely. But he's not.
That was fundamental. You talk about things that actually changed the world. That movie.
I'm telling you, people think I'm crazy because I always compare.
That movie absolutely changed the way mental health in America was.
Absolutely.
Right, wrong, or indifferent.
I agree 1,000%. 1,000%.
But Jack Nicholson played a crazy guy pretty well.
Yeah. I forgot he dies at the end.
I don't remember.
They put the thing on him and he dies at the end.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the way it goes. So how far your Dodgers are going to go?
We just won the division.
Well, yeah. I looked this morning and you had 88 wins. Are you going to get to 90?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you were ready to bet 162 wins about 5 months ago.
Our only hope is if we do what we did last night, and that's have our starters go to the pen. Did you see that? Clayton Kershaw did an inning coming out of the pen last night, and so did Rory Sasaki. And I don't know who it was about 2 weeks ago said that was the only way we're going to get through the playoffs, but he has freckles, and he shot an 86 at BCC on Saturday. I don't know who it was, but somebody said that. Just saying. It's the only way we're going through the playoffs. Because if 66 or Dreyer or the Polish kid or Diaz or Enriquez or any of those guys come out of left field, we are screwed. And that's right. I made it a 2-syllable word. Screwed.
Is better off since your arms are only good for so long and you can't. Well, you can for an inning probably. You could have your starter pitch on a 2 days rest an inning.
And I think you're going to see YY go like 8 innings in the playoffs. I think you're going to see Blake Snell go like 8 innings in the playoffs. I think these guys are going to be throwing 110, 115, 120 pitches a night, particularly in that first 3-game series, because that's the dangerous one. And then we got to face Philly, which I'm not. Turn your ears off. Shut off just don't listen to this. I'm worried about Philly. I'm worried.
Ralph Bailey actually said that his 162 win Dodgers, he's worried about another team beating him.
Well, who knows the last 4 guys in our lineup would be hitting 190? You know what I'm saying? And if you had told me that at the beginning of the season, I wouldn't have predicted 162-0. Good googly moogly. Mike Turnip Seed, everybody. Quick time out. Daniel Petrie joins at the bottom of the hour. Don't go anywhere.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
We got the best 5 guys.
Travis Buck Sexton Show. We will roll into the weekend with all of you and put a bow on what has been another crazy week. And we'll be joined by the leading candidate to be the next governor of Florida, Byron Donald. We will break down that campaign with all of us and also what's going on Capitol Hill. Come hang. Friday edition, play, and
our 5, 9 to noon. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
It's that man again, Ralph Bailey for Adaptive Networks. Are you a business owner who feel that your IT company just treats you just like another ticket number? Well, at Adaptive Networks, exceptional customer service isn't just a promise. It's how they do business every single day. And when you call, you're actually talking to a real person who knows your name, understands your business, and genuinely cares about solving your problem. No phone trees, no run around, no attitude. From the moment you become a client, you'll experience the difference that comes from working with a company that puts customer service first. And no one knows that better than the folks here at American General Media, because we've teamed up with Adaptive Networks. Ready to experience IT support the way it should be? Call Adaptive Networks at 661-241-0638 or visit adaptive-net.com today. Adaptive Networks, where great technology meets even greater customer service.
Please meet Paul Sheldon's client, Rod Geis.
Hello, Kern County. This is Rod Geis. My wife and I recently changed our health care coverage to Medicare. We are so fortunate to have found Paul Sheldon. Paul and his associates Kelly, Lynn, and Christine were indispensable in guiding us through the transition. They have comprehensive knowledge and experience in all aspects of insurance, Medicare, and the option. They listen to our questions every time we walk in the door, and they followed up very promptly with the answers we needed. With Paul's help, we made the best decisions for us. The process was painless, and we now have comprehensive medical coverage at a very affordable price. So if you are considering retirement and a change to Medicare coverage, Paul Sheldon Insurance Benefits and Planning is hands down the best place you can go.
When Medicare matters, our team has the answers. Team Paul Sheldon.
398
2298.
You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show. Catch me weekday morning, 6 to 9 a.m. on First Look with Scott Cox, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
842-537-6842 KERN. What do you got on the board?
The term Nazi has become so common, even J.D. Vance used it to describe change. Tell us more about how it's all the left's fault.
It is all the left's fault, and that's not even what I said. I believe the percentage I said was 70-30. I even gave some blame to Donald Trump. But it's clear, we played the audio for you, it's clear that the violence, the verbiage that's being used by Democrats, it's a war, we got to take it to a fight. Maxine Waters, you're going to defend Maxine Waters telling a crowd to go up to congressmen at their dinner table? Really? Like, it's one thing for her to say at department stores, as she did, and it's one thing to say if you confront them on the streets of D.C., but to tell somebody to go up to a congressman when they're having dinner, which could be with their wives, with their children or their grandchildren, and to say harsh things, that's way out of line. And if you don't think so, then you're one of the extremists as well, because that is way, way out of line. And next time I see Maxine, I'm going to come up to her and say, you need a new wig, honey. Nice to see you, Grandma. Quick time out, back half of the hour. It's money time with our man from Messmaker Petrie Wealth Advisors. Daniel Petrie is next. A little gouty, even though I got my meds. Just a little bit. And he told me that might happen.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
This is an SLN News special report. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. James Comey was charged Thursday with making a false statement and obstruction in a criminal case filed days after President Trump appeared to urge his Attorney General Pam Bondi to prosecute the former FBI director. The indictment makes Comey the first former senior government official to face prosecution in connection with one of Trump's chief grievances, the long-concluded investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election. Trump and his supporters have long derided that investigation as a hoax and a witch hunt. Comey was fired months into Trump's first administration and has long been a top target for Trump supporters seeking retribution.
My ankle hurts.
Comey was singled out by name in a Saturday social media post. More at srnnews.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN newsroom, you're live and local news update on News Talk 96.1.
You know how many steps? You know how many steps I've gotten in the month
I'm Bill
of
Robbins.
September?
A vehicle that crashed into a tree has left one man dead. Bakersfield police say it happened at around 1:30 this morning on Hageman Road, just east of Jewetta Avenue. 24-year-old man was heading west in the 11,500 block of Hageman Road at high speed when he crashed into a tree. The impact caused him to be partially ejected from the vehicle. All ambulance responded. The man was declared dead at the scene. It's uncertain yet whether drugs or alcohol were factors in the crash. You could score free tickets to Cherry Acres Pumpkin Patch by rolling up your sleeves to make a donation to Houchin Community Blood Bank. The promotion lasts through October 30th. All successful donors will receive a pair of tickets to Cherry Acres while supplies last. I'm Bill Robbins in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Attention, Medicare beneficiaries here in Kern County. If you are eligible for Medicare and looking for a doctor who listens and cares about you with minimal wait times and prompt referral authorizations, it's time you learned about QualCare IPA. QualCare IPA contracts with most Medicare Advantage health plans and provides you with access to a large network of outstanding doctors and quality hospitals right here in Kern County. Medicare Advantage health plans go beyond original Medicare benefits coverage, and understanding these coverage differences may be confusing. Call us today at 661-554-4544. Let us help you understand your healthcare options for 2025. Call today, 661-554-4544. That's 661-554-4544. get the information you need and the coverage you deserve. For accommodations of persons with special needs at meetings, call 661-554-4544, TTY 711.
On the next Armstrong and Getty show, one of the great tech leaders of our time tells us, get ready for the Antichrist. Wait, what? Really? Plus, the New York Times says it's such a shame people are being canceled over what they say online. Are you kidding, New York Times?
Man, the world is tiring. We will try not to be tiring. We'll give you the news in a hopefully entertaining way on the next Armstrong and Getty show.
Weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
It's a Thursday, time to end 21st and bringing our money man from Ness Baker and Petrie Wealth Advisors, Daniel Petrie. What's really going on?
What is going on, Ralph Bailey?
I can't call it. The Los Angeles Dodgers are National League West Division champions. I know that much.
That's awesome. I hope you get a bullpen for the playoffs.
No, we're not going to get a bullpen, but we're going to have starters coming out of the bullpen. We just discussed this with Mr. Turnipseed, Giant fan. We did it last night. We had CK came in for an inning, and Rory Sasaki came in.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah, because if any of those other arsonists come in, I'm turning the channel.
Oh no, that's not good. When you know it's
We are up 8-0, and they brought in Tanner Scott, and I swear I was nervous.
Oh, that's sad.
Imagine he's blown 11 saves. Let's say he just goes 6-5, which is still horrible.
Right.
That's 6 more games we win. We would have won the West going away if he could have just saved half of the games that he blew.
6 games, a big difference.
Big difference
in this league.
We would have challenged Philly for that second spot.
There you go.
He blew 2 saves last year. We give him $72 million. He blows 11 saves.
Unfortunately, if you guys had a bullpen, I'd have more faith.
Oh, we'd be unstoppable. We'd be absolutely unstoppable. Our starting staff, I feel so bad for those guys. Yamamoto.
Maybe somebody will get hot and help you, but
Yamamoto went 1-2 in his last 3 starts. 1-2. Okay, 1 win, 2 losses. And in that 0.89.
Oh,
the batting average against him was 47.
Oh,
and he averaged 11 strikeouts. And in the 3 starts, they got 3 hits against him.
I'm amazed he did that well because he probably feels he has to do even better just to win.
Well, yeah. I mean, the fact that Dave Roberts pulled him with 8 2/3 with 1 out to go, he's up 3-0. He's pitching a no-hitter. Guy hits a home run, and Roberts pulls him.
How many pitches had he thrown?
He hadn't hit 100 yet.
Oh yeah, let him play.
And he just yanked him. And I think, this actually is respect for the Japanese culture, because I truly believe, had he not been a Japanese player,
he would have fought to stay.
He would He would have done what Blake Snell did the very next night.
Go back to the
when Blake Snell. Yeah, Blake Snell said, "No, I got this guy. Just let me get this guy."
Yeah,
and I think a normal player would have been like, "Dave, I thrown 8 2/3 no-hit ball. I'm pretty sure I can get 1 more out."
Pull me now. Look at the bullpen.
I'm pretty sure I can get 1 more out before they get 2 runs. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
I can darn well do it before my bullpen does. So
exactly. And that's what he should have said. Papa Janko, look who we got coming in. Don't get me started. But the economy. I should have said.
Oh, I was going to say, you should have told him, thanks for coming out and visiting, and what are you having for dinner, but go back and let me pitch.
Did you see that game? That was amazing, because Vesia was literally halfway to the mound. He was in right field. or left field. He was halfway to the mound. And then he saw Dave turn around and he was like, oh, I guess I'm not coming in.
Somebody didn't communicate well.
You rarely.
Yeah, it's not good.
But thank God he did, because Snell got him. Got out
The
of it.
wonderful thing about baseball is you get to see things you've never seen before.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
Ain't that the truth? What is going on with our economy? And is there a rumor that Jerome Powell could lower rates once again?
He will.
Again before the end of the year?
Oh, definitely. In October, he's going to.
Wow. When's his term up?
It's priced in. Oh, we went over this before. And
did we?
Why have I forgotten?
I think it's like February, March.
I was just thinking early next year.
Yeah. So when you say it's priced in, what does that mean?
It means the market has anticipated it already happening.
Okay.
So, in other words, if Powell doesn't, which is rare, then the market will not like it because it's already priced it in and it's expected.
Right.
So,
right. So when's this thing up, Chris?
This says Jerome Powell's current term as the chair is set to expire in May of 2026. However, his separate concurrent term as a member of the Federal Reserve is set to go through January of 28.
Oh,
wow.
So May of 26.
I thought he had just months left. So May of 26?
That's what I'm reading.
May. Yeah, that sounds about right, actually. What, 9 months? 8, 9 months?
Huh.
But I thought they said that about 3 or 4 months ago, that it was like 8 or 9 months.
I wonder what will happen, if he regularly cuts until then, and yet the economy rolls over. I guess Trump will still use him as a scapegoat and say, see, I told you, should have started this, a year earlier.
Yeah, and he should have.
It'll be fascinating to see how that plays out.
Yeah. How else are we doing?
Well, the market has kind of slid back here for a couple days, although I don't think it's anything to get too worried about. I think either tomorrow or Monday, I think we'll start marching north again, I would suspect.
How are all these outside factors playing in this? What's going on in Ukraine?
Oh, yeah.
The threat that NATO may start shooting down Russian planes.
I have been a little surprised that all the noise over there about that hasn't caused more worry. And maybe it has. I just don't see it in print. But,
see, I'm the opposite. I'm surprised because if you listen to CNN anchors and CNN commentators, they're like, oh my God, did you hear what he said? That we're going to shoot down Russian planes? Well, what do you think the NATO agreement is all about?
Right.
And what do you think Putin's trying to do? He's trying to do the Hitler and push the envelope and see just how far he can test us.
Yeah.
And yes, if we don't adhere to Article 5 of the NATO treaty, then what is the whole point of it?
Yeah.
The whole point of it, it's like the Monroe Doctrine,
And what good I shouldn't say warmonger, that might not be an appropriate word, but if you want to test somebody, what do? You poke them.
Yes. Yes.
Can I get Ralph Bailey's lunch money? Let me poke them and rough them up a little bit.
And if you do nothing, they're going to run you over.
Yeah, and I'll be like, wow, not only did I get his lunch money, but he forked over an extra $5.
Yeah.
Let's get him tomorrow. Yeah.
That NATO and that fear, why that's the whole point that he wanted Ukraine, because he didn't want Ukraine in NATO.
Exactly.
He's upset that there are other NATO countries bordering his, because he realizes that he can't attack those countries. And now all of a sudden he's flying planes and drones over Poland and Estonia. It's crazy.
Yeah, the fact that it's over Poland is really, because I'm like, you can't. I mean, Poland's not going to stand for that.
Yeah.
And then,
as we were talking with Howard yesterday, he was talking about some of those smaller countries that are right on the border. Man, he could eat those up in a minute.
Yeah, I'm almost
if given
surprised
carte blanche.
He didn't start with those. But I don't know.
Well, he's an affinity for Ukraine because of the children and the fact that it was part of Russia at one point, and that's his ticket to the Hall of Fame, basically. That's his 3,000 hits, 3,000 strikeouts.
because Belarus is basically they're pro-Soviet anyway.
Oh yeah,
you got Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia sitting right above Belarus and Poland, and
Hungary's right there too. Yeah. I just scary times. But you got to do what you got to do.
Maybe we've become a little numb to it. Like, it's more of the same. But Poland and NATO getting involved is a whole nother level.
Yeah, it's World War II all over again.
Yeah,
it's really what finally woke up Western Europe that, oh my God, this Hitler guy is serious.
I had read some analysts who kind of anticipate World War III starting, but I kind of go, well, we can't go there because it's over. I mean, I guess let me rephrase that. If a true World War III happens,
so your question is, could we get into a shooting war with Russia and not use nuclear weapons?
Ooh,
that's essentially your question, isn't it?
I don't know, Ralph. I get the feeling if one of them starts losing, then what do they have to lose?
And Vladimir is all excited about using them tactically.
Yes, in fact, a lot of his generals have spoken about it, like
using them in Ukraine,
or it's available. We'll use it if we have to.
I keep telling you, Daniel, as black-hearted or as glass half empty as it may seem, I don't see how we don't blow this thing up eventually. Maybe not in our lifetime, maybe 50 years.
Well,
but
I guess that's better than our lifetime. But
yeah,
how depressing.
But I can't see it.
Of course, we've been warring since we've been here. We just have better weapons to do it, I guess.
And now crazy countries like India and Pakistan have nuclear weapons, and I just think it's a matter of time until they get into some extremists.
They had a flare up a little while ago.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. That could have gone south easily.
And of course, the Middle East is still a powder keg.
Yeah, it's a weird time. It is a very violent, warlike period that we're just going to have to hang on and hopefully live through.
And maybe that has given a little bit of a boost to the precious metals market that we follow because it had a good week.
Yeah, where are we?
Very good week. Gold closed at
what, 37.50. Really?
Almost up 3%. And silver has joined the party, my friend. Silver closed today at 45.23, up 8% for the week.
8%? Isn't that a gargantuan
really
jump?
That's a big move. But silver does have a tendency when it does move to move in bunches.
Yeah.
It's kind of a smaller market and fascinating stuff, though. In fact, while we were looking at it, I wondered, because we started following all this with the debt in December of 24. So not quite a year. What is that? A little, 10 months ago? 11 months ago? 10 months ago. Anyway.
Yeah.
Since that time, gold is up almost 40% and silver's up 45%.
Good investment.
Isn't that amazing?
Pretty darn good investment. My dad was a big gold guy.
And GDX, which is the major gold mining ETF in that time period, is up a little over 94%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Big moves. Big moves in that sector.
And yet the deficit went up another $29 billion.
Yes, we didn't get into that. You bet it did. We're sitting at 37,527 billion and change.
Yeah. And I buried the lead, I suppose. We're 5 days away from a possible government shutdown. What say you?
Ooh. In this environment, we may shut down for a while.
We are. I think we are. I think both sides think that they can blame the other and are going to be willing to blow. This is the one time. Like, I didn't think a couple of months ago we were going to do this, but I think both sides.
I think both sides feel they can win the political argument.
Exactly. I thought I just said that.
Yeah, you probably did.
Yeah,
and I
that's exactly.
it.
No, you just said it differently.
I often repeat Ralph Bailey.
No,
he is a genius.
No, I wouldn't say that. I would never say that. But yeah, they think they can blame the other one, get away with it.
Yeah, Democrats would say we're trying to save the republic and it's their fault, and Republicans would say, well, we get it done if they would just vote with us.
Yeah.
Each side.
This game of chicken will not end well.
Yes, and if that goes on for a little while, that could derail the markets a little bit.
Yeah. I don't think it would be a long shutdown.
Somebody will fold.
Yeah. But I think it's coming.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you on that one, sadly.
Yeah.
Political environment is so toxic. It's crazy.
It is insane. Final thoughts before I let you go?
One final thought is we got to get to lunch or dinner over at the at your favorite over there on.
Tell me when. I'm always available.
Yeah, I know. I thought about you, and I thought I'll bring it up on the radio show. And
yeah, absolutely, anytime. Although you better hurry because there's
place over there. What do we call that?
Casey's Steakhouse.
There you go.
Yeah,
it's been a long time since I've been there.
Anytime, friend. You got to do it soon though, because there's a female circling the airport that's just entered Ralph Bailey airspace.
Oh no!
Oh, it's incredible.
Have you spoken about this?
No, it's incredibly new.
Oh no!
Could go either way.
Do we need to have a heart-to-heart?
No, relax. What's the matter with you?
Well, I don't know.
So we need to have a heart-to-heart.
I couldn't help you anyway.
I just met somebody. That's all.
Oh, good.
And so before I have no time on my hands because I'm hanging out with her, we better go do something. So.
Yeah, well, taking a third cog along, Petrie, would always help your chances.
No.
That's a good answer, Ralph.
I don't know much.
You're 1 for 1, right?
Yeah, I don't know much, but I know that ain't happening. That ain't happening. That's not.
Yeah.
All right, sir.
Funny.
Have a wonderful weekend.
You as well, my friend.
Thank you.
Good to be seen on radio.
Always good to talk to you, sir.
All right, Ralph.
Talk to you next Thursday. You as
good luck.
well. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Daniel Petrie. We must step aside. Coming right back, though, on a Thursday. A couple of days left at the Great Kern County Fair. They close it up on Sunday. In the meantime, you're listening to the Ralph Bailey Show on Newstalk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and
You ready, Casey?
Not really, but yes.
Wants to counteract what Texas is doing in their redistricting by trying to take the power back from an independent council so he can redistrict the California lines. Matter of fact, he's so confident that he's ready to put it before the voters. He keeps saying, don't poke the bear. Only you're not the bear, Gavin. We are the voters. And we'll have the final say. And you, sir, will have egg on your face.
The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m.
Earlier in the broadcast, we had Casey's Steakhouse owner Cassie Biddle on the program. And I know I get paid in this amount of time to talk about Casey's Steakhouse, but I got to talk about Cassie Biddle. She's absolutely phenomenal. Not only is she on the Planning Commission, not only is she on the Flood Ministries board, but she was one of the thinkers that they brought in to try to settle this jail space thing. She's just absolutely phenomenal. I always talk about those people in our community that make this place a better place to live. And Cassie Biddle is right there with all that group of people that make this place worth it. You know what I think of the city? It sucks. The weather is terrible. It's laid out poorly. We have bad municipal government. But the people of this community are the reason I've lived here for 30 years. And Cassie Biddle is right on top of that list. And I don't have to tell you about Casey's Steakhouse. It's simply the best steakhouse in town. Make sure you get next door to the Stockyard, the speakeasy-like bar that she's created. It's been an absolute game changer for her. Cassie Biddle, one of those people and one of the finest restaurant owners in all of Bakersfield.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. $5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas
gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness
The
Partners.
Charlie Kirk Show, weekdays at 6 p.m. on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
A lovely day.
Lovely day. Lovely day. Lovely day. Lovely day. 812-537-6842-KERN. What do you got?
Just announced that James Comey has been indicted on 2 counts.
This is so stupid. I don't know much. The only bar that I've ever passed is a Casey Steakhouse. Several times. Maybe even tonight. But I don't think you have to be a genius to know they're never going to get a conviction on this guy. What are they going after? Perjury? What are the charges? Perjury? They're trying to say he perjured himself? You know, the real reality is Trump should be sending James Comey Christmas gifts. Let us not forget, it was this idiot, and he is an idiot. And he did play fast and loose with Trump, but he also screwed the hell out of Hillary Clinton. Let's remember, he reopened the investigation into Hillary 11 days before the damn election. I mean, I think that absolutely played a small, tiny role in Trump's victory. And who does that? Who starts up an investigation 11 days before people are going to the polls? Hillary still has nightmares about that. But I guarantee you, and we'll obviously talk about this on Tuesday with Teresa Goldner, but I'm shocked because from every pundit on the left and the right, even the Fox pundits were saying, there's no way to get a conviction on this. No way in the world. First of all, no jury is going to indict or find guilty a former FBI agent unless it is absolutely open and shut. And they were up against time. And I don't think Bondi really wanted to do this, but you've got this kangaroo court, this cartoon cabinet full of, yes, sir, Mr. Trump. Yes, sir, Mr. Trump. What, jump out the window? Yes, sir, Mr. Trump. Whatever you say, Mr. Trump. From Hexeth to Wormhead to Fox and Friends Weekend Guy to Cash Patel, never been in the FBI. We got him. Cash, we got him, Patel. Oh, wait a second. Wrong guy. We don't got him. I'm just the director of the FBI, and I thought we got the guy that shot Charlie Kirk, and that wasn't the guy. I'm sorry. What else you got?
Mace's roommate was Barnes' son. There's tons of speculation and more out there. CSUB's reputation is in the toilet. I did not know that part.
Well, you can't. This is we're all assuming guilt by association.
True.
Guys like that leave secret lives. You know what I'm saying? Although they are who they are, and you don't know somebody until you live with them. And I gotta believe that he's been who he's been his whole life. You don't wake up at 24 and say, you know what? I got a thing for children. And I'm no shrink. I mean, let me preface again, no idea what I'm talking about, but I don't believe this is something that comes on to you. It's like being gay. You're either gay or not. You know what I'm saying? You don't like go through a bunch of women and then go, you know what? The guy seems more attractive to me than the women that I've been dating for the last 10 years. No. You're either doing that because it's a beard and it's acceptable and you got a job and you're embarrassed and you want to look like you're a heterosexual, but deep inside, I think you're born gay. And I think I wouldn't go as far to say you're born a child pornographer. I think there are horrendous things that maybe occur in your childhood. Maybe you saw that growing up. It's like domestic violence. Like children of domestic violence, they're like children of alcoholics. Kids of alcoholics go one of two ways. They either become drunks or they don't drink at all. And I think that's what happens when you see domestic violence. Either you have ultimate respect for women or you follow in your father's footsteps. And I got to believe he was doing something on computers or something when he was in college. I'm just saying. I can't do it.
This is AM 1180 KERN Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM. Bakersfield. Online at KERNradio.com.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. James Comey was charged Thursday with making a false statement and obstruction in a criminal case filed days after President Trump appeared to urge his attorney general to prosecute the former FBI director. The indictment makes Comey the first former senior government official to face prosecution in connection with one of Trump's chief grievances, the long-concluded investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election. Trump and his supporters have long derided that investigation as a hoax and a witch hunt. Comey was fired months into Trump's first administration and has long been a top target for Trump supporters. Comey was singled out by name in a Saturday social media post in which Trump complained directly to Pam Bondi that she hadn't brought any charges against him. A programming note, Erica Kirk, widow of Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk, will be on national radio Friday. Erica Kirk will appear on her late husband's Salem Radio Network talk show beginning at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on many of these same stations. President Trump has signed an executive order that puts TikTok in American control.
The executive order allows TikTok to continue operating in the U.S. by shifting China-based control of the video sharing app to American investors. President Trump said he discussed the deal with Chinese President Xi.
We talked about TikTok and he gave us the go-ahead. You know, it's run by American investors and American companies.
Vice President Vance said there was some resistance from China, but that Americans can use TikTok with confidence that their data will be secure. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Another down day on Wall Street with the Dow dropping 174 points, the NASDAQ lower by 113, the S&P down 33. More at townhall.com.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Bill Robbins. A vehicle that crashed into a tree has left one man dead. Bakersfield police say it happened at around 1:30 this morning on Hageman Road, just east of Jewetta Avenue. The 24-year-old man was heading west in the 11,500 block of Hageman Road at high speed when he crashed into a tree.
Do I have the what now?
The pairings for tomorrow, Ryder Cup?
Oh, no, but I just saw a story of it. Give me a second. I'll probably pull it up.
Drugs or alcohol were factors in the crash. A federal court has ruled that Grimway Farms discriminated against disabled workers by forcing them into unpaid leave. According to the ruling, Grimway Farms failed to make reasonable accommodations for disabled workers. Dolores Huerta stated the conditions at Grimway were unsafe and that so many would get disabled there and the company would not take care of them. Beatrice Trejo is a workers' compensation specialist, and after reviewing the case, stated that the company did not follow the interactive process meant to help injured workers. After more than a year without a complete council, the city of Arvin welcomed new city council member Tim Tarver. Tarver expressing gratitude to those who supported him during Tuesday night's council meeting. Tarver is a former mayor and councilman. One of the community members who spoke up said that Tarver has already expressed his commitment to the community by his previous service on the council. Mayor Olivia Calderon says that Tarver's experience will help to guide the council. You can score free tickets to Cherry Acres Pump.
Recording.
No, I'll just go to bed. Because I was up at 6 this morning. I'll just go to bed early.
True. Yeah, if you go to bed at like 8 or 9, you'll be up by 4.
Yeah, there's no baseball. There's nothing to watch tonight.
True.
Newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
What do you think? This is the Army where you shoot them a mile away? You got to get a post.
Trust me, if there's a will, there's a way. I said the same thing.
Might just stay up the whole damn night.
It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
It's Bentley, as far as I know. Then I got Houchin is being worked on right now, and the ladies from the Greek Food Festival will be with us on the 1st, which is a Wednesday.
661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Final hour of the broadcast on this Thursday, 25th day of September. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 AM 1180 KERN, and we're streaming live, KERNradio.com. Coming up the bottom of the hour. Dodgers win. Dodgers win. We captured the National League West, and now we're waiting to see what Nick Ragone's Mets are about to do. Will they continue to crap the bed as they have since about the All-Star game? Or will it be the Cincinnati Reds that we'll face in a 2 out of 3 game series? We'll follow that. It's going to be a fun weekend. The Tigers and the Guardians are going at it.
Oh, my.
After they crap the bed, looked like the Tigers are going to walk away with it.
15 games.
15 games up, and now they're, what's he got to score? He got to score this afternoon. They started at 3. We'll keep you updated on that as well. And I got some other miscellaneous news and notes we'll get to as well.
4-1 Detroit.
4-1 Detroit. Ooh, what inning?
We are currently in the top of the 6th, 2 outs.
Wow. Okay. All right. So they'll add to their lead. That's going to get interesting. But in the meantime, it's time to head to Bethpage State Park. And as you heard earlier in the broadcast, I mentioned that my friend Alan Cornejo is either winging his way back to Long Island or is already there. And his wife heard us because I said I forgot to get Alan's phone number and she's going to provide for us. So we're going to have an on-course report. It's a great story, actually. Before I get to Nick real quick, his daughters are Sticks. They played college golf. And I can't remember how long ago he said she applied. I think he told me it was like 3 or 4 years ago, but she applied to work Bethpage. And he said 6 months ago, she got a letter from the USGA and she's working the event. So Alan has taken his whole family and they got ticks, and he's going to be our on-course correspondent. And I don't think he even knows that yet. He may be listening, but his wife heard it. So maybe they're all listening or on their way to LAX or something. I don't know. In the meantime, we're off to Philadelphia, PA, bring in our golf aficionado, the man that's creating the second championship tour event, Nick Ragone. What's really going on?
I was contemplating going to Bethpage, but for anybody that's been to Long Island, New York, or played Bethpage, it's ingress and egress is a nightmare. It's just hard to get into. And so my guess is, especially, and I think the president's going to be there tomorrow. So
yes, he
I
is.
think the traffic is going to be
nightmarish,
unbearable.
Yeah,
a nightmare.
I think.
And after the Ryder Cup, it's super cool, but like, you only have 4 foursomes out there, so you have 40,000 people on 4 holes.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is
Not
crazy.
Great viewing.
Yeah, I think he said they got an Airbnb like 40 minutes from Bethpage. I don't know if he's on Long Island or in the city. I don't know where he is, but
probably Long Island. You don't want to be coming up from the city, but 40 minutes is really like an hour and a half to get in. I mean, it's just going to be difficult. It's one of those events where I wish I could go just to be in the atmosphere, but I would much prefer to watch it on my TV at home.
Yeah, it's like the Super Bowl. It'd be great to be there,
same thing.
But it's a much better view from the house. It really is.
Well, I was at the Super Bowl last year, so.
Well, I've been to double that many Super Bowls, so there you go.
Really?
Yeah, I was
working or as a fan?
As a young fan. I was at the '77 Super Bowl. The Raiders beat the Vikings.
Vikings?
Yes,
my
sir.
God, you were there?
I was at the Rose Bowl.
Old Man Willie, the interception?
Yes, I was. And Sammy White's helmet coming off, and
I think Jack Tatum.
Yeah, and then I was at the '79 Super Bowl when my Rams could have beaten Pittsburgh.
The Vince Ferragamo Rams. They should have won that game.
You damn right we should have. I'll never forget it. 3rd and 19. We've been holding them in the second half. 3rd and 19, and they run a post to Stallworth for 35 yards. And Rod Perry comes across. It was the cover of Sports Illustrated, where literally the cover was Perry coming across, his hand is up, and you see Stallworth about to catch it. And that was the ball game right there. Because if we make them punt, we were down 24-19 at that point, and we're right back in the ball game. Instead, they score. It's 31-19, and we lose the game. And I've told my
the one where Swan made that epic catch, his signature catch.
No, that was against Dallas.
Right.
But I've told my audience it was a tale of two cities for me, because my dad had 4 tickets. We had 4 tickets. I thought he was going to take his brother, and maybe I'd get to take somebody. And he invited 2 cats that he went to med school with from Pittsburgh. They came out, stayed a week with us. And then my dad, on the way to the game, said, well, we've both been to the Rose Bowl. I'm going to sit with Dr. Williams. You sit with Dr. Johnson, and we'll meet at halftime. And I was like in 10th grade. I was like, I'm not sitting with you? And he was like, no, the stadium, and he can't get around. And I was like, okay, I can't really cry. I'm going to the damn Super Bowl. But that
going to Super Bowl.
It really broke my heart, though, Nick. It really did. I was like, damn.
Really?
Yes.
So you've been to 2 Super Bowls as like a teenager.
Yeah.
You're like way ahead of the game.
Yeah, we had Rams season tickets, and
I know you talked about that.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
It was. It was. I'm sorry, I had a blessed childhood. There were nights.
You really did. You've had a charmed life.
I have. I truly have. There were Sundays. We had Laker tickets too. There were Sundays where we'd go to the Coliseum at 1, get home about 4:30, have dinner, and then we lived like 15 minutes. We lived right near Inglewood, and we'd go to the Forum 7:30 that night. It was great. It was unbelievable.
What kind of doctor was your dad?
Anesthesiologist. He passed the gas.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was a fun life. It really was. It's weird to
my brother Tom would be jealous. That Raiders Vikings. That's the first Super Bowl I remember. So like I was about 6, and my dad was a huge Vikings fan because he loved Fran Tarkenton. And so I had a Vikings robe and helmet. I was a big Vikings fan growing up. And Tom was a huge, I mean, Tommy Kramer, Sammy White, Bob Rashad, Matt Blair, that whole team, Paul Krause, Purple People Eaters. And Tom was a huge Raiders fan. He was 4 years older than me. And so that's the first memory I've had of any football game, me wearing my helmet and my robe and crying that they were getting crushed.
Really? Yeah, it wasn't very close. They were never in the game.
It wasn't even competitive.
Yeah.
None of the Viking Super Bowls were. I mean, that for a great team, they were a great team, in the 70s, a great team. And they really weren't competitive in any of their Super Bowls.
No.
They were blown out by Pittsburgh.
Yep. It's sad.
Twice.
It really is sad. That's the Purple People Eaters and Alan Page.
Alan Page, Jim Marshall, Supreme Court Justice.
Yes, Minnesota. Yeah.
Brilliant man.
Carl Eller.
Probably the best line of all time.
Yeah.
Jim Marshall's not in the Hall of Fame. I didn't know that. He just passed. And he had they didn't have sack stats back then.
No.
But he had something like, by his own accounting, 125 sacks.
Yeah, that's a shame.
And he played 18 years and I think missed one game. How is he not in the Hall?
Yeah. That's one of the greatest calls of all time. Jim Marshall is going the wrong way.
People don't remember that. We're so old, but
I know.
That Jim Marshall wrong way was like a standard growing up, wrong way Jim Marshall.
And isn't it crazy that he threw the ball up in the air when he got in the end zone? Because if he hadn't, they could have been like, come on, get out of there.
Yeah, get out.
But he threw the ball up in the air. It was an automatic.
I love watching that on YouTube. It periodically pops up. And every time I think he's going to turn around, I'm like, turn around. He never does.
I did that at basketball camp. It was a tip-off, and I took it the wrong way for a layup.
You got disoriented. Oh, my God.
Yeah. I never forget.
I bet you that happens more frequently than you think, because that's probably easy to confuse.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought I had a breakaway.
Hey, by the way, you know that there's a movie coming out with Nick Cage and Christian Bale on Madden and Al Davis.
Yeah, you told us that.
Yeah.
Have you seen how did they fatten him up, or did he do Robert De Niro?
I don't know. It's hard to tell. It looks like he's wearing a lot of prosthetic face makeup, because he doesn't look like.
It's a fat suit. Chris says it's
a fat suit.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Why? Just Nick Cage. Come on.
Well, have you seen?
It makes it so unserious.
Have you seen The Penguin on HBO?
No, I've not.
They make Colin Powell look like he's 6'5", 350 pounds, and you'd never know it was Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell.
Yeah, Colin Farrell. And so you can't even recognize him.
Yeah, that's kind of silly when they do that. I mean, it's just like, come on.
I know. Do the De Niro. Actually, put the weight on.
Yeah, actually do the De Niro, or even in Cape Fear, which I just rewatched. De Niro is ripped. He goes shredded. He goes fat. He goes every which way.
And of course, he was ripped in Raging Bull too.
Well, and then he got he put on
and he got fat. Pounds. Yeah, he looked horrendous at the end.
That was the first time Joe Pesci. That was Joe Pesci's first major movie, Raging Bull. That was like literally his first movie.
Yeah. Do you want another great Joe Pesci fact?
Right.
He helped put together the Four Seasons.
Yeah. Come on. That is so. Anybody that's watched Jersey Boys knows that. Of course. Come on. You think he just revealed that? little Joey Pesci. I mean, that's like a standard. And
I have a very large audience.
Jersey Boys.
A very large audience. You never know who. You never assume that they know things.
No. Look. I've been. I was thinking about the other day. I've been on your air now almost 20 years.
That's crazy. That is, you're right.
That's crazy.
That
My
really
first book came out in 2006.
Yeah, that's about anyway. I think we started in 2005.
Yeah, I've been on your air for almost 20 years. We should do a 20th anniversary.
We absolutely should. Come on out.
I will. I know I say that. I will.
You should come to the golf tournament in March. You really should. March 23rd. We've already got the date. You really should celebrate.
Well, next September 28th. Through October 4th, you're coming out here to play my Jefferson Lehigh Classic.
Count on it, Jack. Count on that.
It sounds like you played pretty well the other day.
I did. I shot 86 the other day. 42-44, Jackson. 42-44. I'm back. I still have it. Well, I'm pretty gout free, although I am having some pain today, believe it or not. But and I'm not playing that. I'm putting better. I'm chipping better. I'm striking the ball obviously a little bit better, but I'm still, as I told you, I cannot get my club head speed up, and I'm hitting 210-yard drives, and I got 180, 190 in. But what I'm doing consistently, which is what I couldn't do, I'm on in 3. I'm guaranteed on in 3. And I two-putt and make my 5. Yeah, I two-putt, make my 5 and get on my way. And every now and again, I sink one and I make a 4. And Because 42 is just 3 pars and 6 bogeys. You know what I'm saying? That's not great golf.
Yeah.
It's just.
No, but you don't need to set the world on fire.
Yeah, I'm just not doing anything stupid like I did on 15. I had one double and it was a triple on the par 5 where I just went brain dead and got scared and tried to guide the ball and just played like a moron. But that was my only bad hole. Anyway, we got to get to what's going on. Let's go through the foursomes. It's an alternate shot tomorrow morning, correct?
Well, yeah, the alternate shot, which is the tougher format for the Americans. Europeans usually dominate that. And the first matchup's the best, I think, because you got 3 live guys. You got Hatton and DeChambeau and John Rahm. And the DeChambeau, that pairing's a little weird.
With Justin Thomas.
Yeah, that's interesting. They're both volatile. They're both erratic off the tee a little bit. So I actually think the Euros are, I think they're favorite in that match. I think Rahm and Terrell are just more consistent. So, look, I love Bryson. I think he's the heart of that team. But I think that's a tough matchup for the Americans.
Yeah, I would bet on Hatton Rahm personally. I really would.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah. What about Fitzpatrick, and Aberg against Henley and our boy Scotty?
Again, I mean, you have Scotty, best player in the world, no doubt about it.
Yep.
But I think Oberg and Fitzpatrick are better than Henley, who I'm not a big fan of his. Yeah, they're solid. Yeah. So again, I got to give a slight edge to Americans because Scotty's the most dominant player on the planet, but like slight. It's not an overwhelming thing. And I could easily, I mean, Oberg hits it as good as anybody. If he's just putting decent, he's right there. And so, and Fitzy's tough. He's one of those guys you don't want to face. Like he's just tough. So again, I mean, I don't love that matchup for the Americans. I think that's a weird team. I'll say it. I think Scheffler with Henley, I just don't understand it, especially they're sitting, they got some firepower. Cameron Young, I thought that would have been his pairing. So I don't understand that pairing at all.
Who's driving in that pairing? Scheffler?
I would say Scheffler just because, he hits it relatively long. He's not a bomber, but he hits it very straight.
Yeah. Then you got McIlroy and Fleetwood versus English and the LA boy, Corey, what's his name? Morikawa.
Yeah, I mean, Rory's playing great golf and Fleetwood's playing even better golf. Like, that's the most lopsided match. I would almost be shocked if Rory loses that, Rory and Fleetwood. I would be shocked. I mean, they're just playing such good golf.
Yeah, Fleetwood's on a high, getting his first win.
I mean, he's on a heater. He's on an epic heater.
Yeah, absolutely. Then the final match.
And by the way, I think if they win that, they're going to shut the crowd up too. Like, that's going to be a volatile match.
Did you hear McIlroy talked about that? He said he feeds off that. He knows what he's going to get. And he says, I like it. I feed off it. He said it's a tough wire to walk because he says sometimes I get too involved and sometimes I don't get involved enough. But I think I'm gonna feed off these guys. It was an interesting conversation.
Do you remember how riled up he got against Patrick Reed at Hazeltine in 2016? I think. I mean, Rory definitely is a high wire act, but I expect him and Fleetwood to win that.
Yeah. I think this is probably the closest match of the 4. You tell me. McIntyre and Hovland versus Patrick Cantlay and Xander Schauffele.
I like Schauffele and Cantlay.
I do too.
Hovland is erratic. He is super erratic. If this was 2 years ago, I'd say, okay, that's a good match. Hovland has missed a ton of cuts. He won one time, but very erratic, inconsistent. And he's also a little, he gets rattled, I think, a little bit. And so, look, Cantlay played better down the stretch. Schauffele still, he got won 2 majors last year. He's a big-time player. I actually think that's the best American pairing because they like playing together and they've won a lot. And so I think that they're probably the biggest favorite in that one.
Yeah.
That's the one where I'd say the Americans are favorite. I don't think they're favorite in the first one. Certainly not in the second matchup. Certainly not in the third match. Second matchup, I think it's even. Third matchup, I think you always have a huge advantage. And I think this one the Americans do. I think if the Americans come out, 2.5, 1.5 down, that's a victory because they've gotten blown out 4-0 a bunch of times on mixed ball. And so even if it's 3-1 for the Euros, that's not a great start, but it's not the end of the world. I think 2.5, 1.5 for the Americans is sort of, and anything above that is it's a victory.
Yeah.
Because then in the foursomes, the Americans typically do better. And so, I think, and then the singles, obviously, usually the Americans do better on the singles, but if you look on paper, the European team, I think, is pretty deep.
Yep, you're
I
absolutely
don't
right.
think it's weak. I don't think it's weak at
all. You've been following this week much closer than I have been. Is the DeChambeau Rory story still huge?
I mean, I think it's interesting. It goes back to the U.S. Open. First of all, I don't think they ever liked each other. It goes back to the Open, and obviously DeChambeau beat him. Rory skunked out of there and didn't stay and didn't congratulate him. And then, if you remember, they played the match, and in that TV match, and in the prelude to the match on the range, Rory said something like, "I'm going to get you back for what you did to me at the Open," and Bryson, without missing a beat, goes, "When you mean what you did to yourself at the Open," and that stung.
Yeah,
and it stung Rory, and he filed that away. And I think ever since then, there's bad blood. In addition to one being Live and one being the tour and all that stuff. So I think there's genuine dislike there and bad blood. Obviously, Brandel Chambly didn't help it at all this week, going after Bryson, which made no sense about his YouTube channel, which I think is amazing and wildly popular.
Yeah, no kidding.
Hey, bizarre.
You want to hear from Bryson?
Yeah.
Here you go.
Well, look, I think rivalries are good for the game of golf, and albeit I have the ultimate respect for Rory as a player, it's going to be fun to go up against him this week, whether it's against him directly or through other players. I think it's going to be a fun challenge this week. Would I love to go up against him? Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun. Is it going to happen? It's not likely. I mean, maybe once. You never know. I don't know if there's planning behind the scenes or whatnot, but no, look, he's a fierce competitor, a great competitor, but one that I'd love the opportunity to play against this week.
I know the captains don't know the opposite teams, but on Sunday when it's individuals, do the captains know what the lineup's going to look like? And can they match them up?
They can have a gentleman's agreement. I think that's been done in the past. So in the President's Cup, they match it up one after the other, where you actually match it up. Ryder Cup, you put your 12 in. I do think there's been, in the past, opportunities where there's been a gentleman's agreement between captains saying, "Hey, I'm going to put Tiger third," and so they could. I would not be surprised if everybody wants to see Rory and Bryson. I mean, I also want to see Scotty and Rory, but I think everybody wants to see Rory and Bryson. It would be good, especially if the matches aren't super competitive. If it's a blowout one way or the other, and you need interest. Rory Bryson is that. So I would not be shocked if they find a way to get them together in the singles. The other thing is, Rory usually goes out first on singles. Like, the strategy is always to front load.
Right.
So, there's a good chance they both front load. You put your two emotional leaders on there. Even though Scotty's the best player in the world, I think of Bryson as kind of not the leader of that team, but like the emotional fire plug.
Yeah.
Like, Scheffler's not going to do that. He's going to take care of business. But Bryson's going to be playing with the crowd. He's going to be bombing it. And if Bryson's on, that whole team's going to be on. If Bryson's off, then they're in trouble.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, it's still a television show.
Yep.
I mean,
Bryson is good TV, man. The guy he's box office.
He really,
and
really
Rory's
is.
good TV too. I mean, I think everybody wants to see it. And look, I think Bryson's being honest. He really does want him. I mean, I think, not every one of those, and I've been around a lot of pros now, and I've gotten to talk to them, get to know them, and they're like, there's some guys that don't want a piece of the leaderboard. They don't want a piece of, the best player in the world. They want to just stay top 10 and make money.
Yeah.
I think Bryson loves it. I think he wants a piece of them badly.
Yeah.
He wants to beat him. He wants the attention. That's a good thing.
Yeah. There are about, what do you think, 15, 20 guys like that?
Yeah.
That really are just really
genuinely want it.
Yeah, they're just
They want to be in the middle of it. They want to take on the best. Koepka, when he was playing good, was like that. I mean, there's a handful. Back in Jack's day, there was just Jack and Trevino and Johnny. There was like 6 or 8. Jack would say, when I went to a major, there was 10, 15 guys I had to beat, because the rest of them didn't want to be there. They didn't want to face me. They didn't want to be in the heat. And I think it's maybe a little bit more today, but I think a lot of those guys, don't want it. But Bryson, a guy like J.J. Spawn, I think he wants it. I think guys on that team want it.
Yeah.
That's why I wish Brian Harman was on the team. I think he's one of those guys.
Are you shocked that Spawn wasn't part of the alternate shot?
Not really. I think the first thing out, a rookie, especially Spawn's never been on a team before.
Yeah.
I'm not shocked. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he plays 3 matches. He's not going to play 5. He'll play the afternoon, and then he'll play one on Friday in singles. He's played great golf this year and consistent, right? He almost played great at the Players, almost won there against Rory. Obviously won the Open. He's won multiple times. So he'll be there, but. This is I think as far as the American team, this is the thinnest team I've ever seen before.
Yeah.
Usually it's stacked, and part of it is because some of these guys are on live. Part of it is Tiger's hurt, and some guys just aren't playing well. Jordan Spieth, but this is a thin American team.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. All right. So before I let you go, who you got? Give me a score.
It's going to be close. I think the Euros are going to win. I think it'll be
14 and a half,
13 and a half. 14 and a half, 13 and a half, something like that.
They barely get there.
14. I think they barely get there. It's not going to be a blowout, but I think that European team is deeper, which is usually not the case. And I think the best page energy might work against the Americans. I think the energy is going to be so over the top and overwhelming. I think it's going to bring that European team closer together. I hope I'm wrong. I love the Ryder Cup. I think it's right there with the Masters as far as can't miss, can't wait.
Yeah.
You wake up in the morning, but looking for it. But I just think this American team is, it's just not as deep and it's not as experienced as the ones. And this European team is deep.
And I got to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to watch this thing.
Oh, that's right.
Hey, Mr. Know-It-All, you want another casino fact that I bet you don't know?
Yeah, throw it out there.
Can you identify Pesci's wife in the film? Mr. Know-It-All, go ahead, tell him.
In the film Casino?
That's correct.
It's not, no, I can't actually.
She is De Niro's co-host when De Niro hosts his own television
his
show.
TV show.
That woman that introduces him. That's Pesci's wife. Thank you.
Got me on that one.
Love it.
Let me throw out a really good sequel. I love the movie Wall Street. Well, did you ever see the sequel to Wall Street, Money Never Sleeps? It's really good.
Yeah, it is good. Maybe we'll talk to you.
96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Former FBI Director James Comey has been charged with making a false statement and obstruction. The criminal case filing comes days after President Trump appeared to urge his Attorney General to prosecute the former FBI director.
You can give him time.
Prosecutors have been evaluating whether Comey lied to lawmakers during testimony in 2020 related to the investigation into alleged ties between Russia and Trump's 2016 presidential campaign. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has summoned hundreds of generals and admirals to a base in Northern Virginia for a sudden meeting next week.
What's for dinner?
The directive doesn't offer a reason for the gathering Tuesday of senior commanders of the 1-star rank or higher and their top advisors. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 174 points. More details at srnnews.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Bill Robbins. A boy has to spend at least 3 years in a youth detention facility for a shooting at Heritage Park where a woman lost her life. Anthony Lopez was 15 years old when he shot and killed the woman at Heritage Park. Lopez was sentenced in juvenile court for the death of 23-year-old Margarita Perez. He was charged with involuntary manslaughter with a gun. Drivers in Bakersfield got a little reminder Wednesday morning that you must yield to pedestrians in the crosswalk. CHP Bakersfield conducted an operation and issued 28 citations to drivers who failed to yield. CHP reminds you that you must stop for pedestrians in marked and unmarked crosswalks and always slow down near schools, parks, and neighborhoods. I'm Bill Robbins in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
It's that man again, Ralph Bailey from Sangera Subaru. One of the best things I admire about Subaru, how they give back to our community. And the start of the school year is the perfect time to recognize our teachers and principals with Subaru's VIP Educator Program. Now, through October 31st at Sangera Subaru, teachers, principals, or assistants of pre-K through 12th grade are eligible to receive $500 off the purchase or lease of a brand new Subaru. That's right. $500 in savings plus utilizing Subaru's monthly sales incentive. So if you're a teacher, principal, or assistant, call Sangera Subaru at 661-836-3737 or stop by and see my dear friends Damon Culberts and Hassan Levy. The whole Subaru team is ready to help, but it's only good through October.
Good thing we got Ragon then.
I know. So we'll do it at 3:30 then.
Okay. Offer available August 1st through October 31st and subject to change. Cannot be combined with any other VIP programs, but can be combined with retailer or consumer insight.
Oh!
And I got Sangera to work too, so you don't have to redo it.
Say what?
I got Sangera to work, so you don't have to do it.
Oh, you fit it?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Honey, like a summer queen, buzzing through barbecues, laying eggs in bird baths and potted plants, spreading West Nile.
Yeah, but it's mostly like the add-in stuff, like the, reiterating what month it is and like what they're wanting to get done and all that type of stuff. So
okay, good.
I got evicted. Unbelievable. But listen here, don't get excited just yet. I don't go into hibernation till November. That means there's still time for a comeback, baby. So please, let that kiddie pool turn green. Forget the insect repellent. I double dog dare you. Or keep doing what you're doing. Visit kernmosquito.com. Keep dumping out those containers and ruining the rest of my year. Whatever. Bless your overachieving little hearts.
KernMosquito.com. Free county mosquito services. That's KernMosquito.com.
The Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, live 9 to noon. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
842-537-6842-KERN. As we mentioned, Dodgers win today, 8-0. Is that the final?
I believe so, but let me double check.
When I left the house, and then Tanner Scott came in, so it was probably like 8-7.
8-0.
Wow. What?
Shut the door.
They're just unreliable. One night Tanner Scott looks unbelievable. He went through that little period in June where he was literally unstoppable. Nobody was touching the guy. Oh, sweet. Sweet. His wife called? Okay, cool. I'll put that on my phone.
She texted to us.
I'll text him tonight. We've got a correspondent live on the field. When should we talk to him? We should talk to him tomorrow.
Probably tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, late. We'll do, we're going early.
Probably him at 5, I would think.
At 5. Yeah, that's perfect.
Well, if he has time around 5.
Oh,
well, what time would it be over there?
It'd be 8 o'clock. He might be half in bag.
Probably 4
on
o'clock.
His way to dinner. Yeah, maybe we do a little early because at 8 o'clock he's probably at dinner because he's going with his whole family. So yeah, maybe we get him a little earlier. I'll contact him tonight and work something out. Our friend Alan Cornejo is either in Long Island or winging his way to Long Island, or maybe driving all the way down to LAX or Burbank or Fresno. But he's taking his whole family. His daughter is working the event, and she gets to hold the signs, I assume, or I don't know. There are all kind of things you can do as part of the volunteers. You do know that, right? On the PGA Tour and even for Ryder Cup, that those people that are working the event, those are volunteers. They do not get paid. And I don't think his daughter's getting paid. I think it's just the joy and just the excitement. Hell, I'm 60-some years old. I'd do it if I could walk the course for 4 hours. I'm not sure my old bones could walk that course for 4 hours, but that's a pretty cool deal. That is really a cool deal. And as some of you know, I've been inside the ropes once at Riviera. It was the LA, I think it was, it was the Nissan back then. And I got credentials for me and Tony Tarango, who at the time was probably my age, in his late 50s or early 60s, and my friend Oscar Lopez, who was a pretty good golfer, but he was portly like I was back in those days. So we hardly looked like, golf reporters. A black guy and 2 heavyset Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? And by accident, we didn't request this, by sheer accident, because you have to go into this big tent. You have to go into the media tent, and you have to get your credentials. You can stay in there. That's where a lot of golf reporters never go out on the golf course. People don't realize that. A lot of golf reporters sit in the tent, and they've got televisions, about a bed of televisions following everybody. They basically got the network view, like the view the director would have when he would say, all right, let's go to 15, where you can see, almost everybody. And they'll just sit there and write their stories. Some walk the course, some don't. In fact, when we had inside the ropes passes by accident, we were walking with J.A. Adonde. You remember him, the LA Times columnist?
I do, yeah.
I got to rap to him. He's a really nice guy. He was a little younger than I was, as I remember. I was probably like my early 40s, and he was like
he was one of the best
30s.
ones around the
He
horn.
was. That's why I wanted to rap to him. You know who else I met and I really, really liked, and now I would like to shoot him? I shouldn't say that these days. I played craps with
Whitlock?
Yes. Jason Whitlock. I used to love him. I thought he was so good when he was on ESPN. And then he flipped the script and became like a black hater, where like this whole thing just bagging on black folks, and he's still doing it. And I just cannot stand this man. And then the comments that he made about Joy Taylor.
Yeah.
Oh, that rack and that peanut butter skin. Dude, what is wrong with you? And she was on with Shay Shay. And he asked her about roasted him.
I was just
She's like, I don't even think about him. He doesn't even exist. I don't know.
Well, she made a very good point. It's like he would have to go out in order to actually have conversations with these people. And he doesn't. Like, this is one of those people that probably just stays to himself.
It was 11 o'clock in the morning. It was the week that Lori took me on, that week that I always allude to. She was doing real estate. She had a real estate conference. And I tried to be the good boyfriend and walk her to her conference, have breakfast with her in the morning, and then walk her to her conference. So I'm stuck, I'm degenerate. I can't pass by the casino. And so I go and I'm playing craps in the morning because it's cheap. We were staying at the MGM, and I look at the end of the table. There's like four of us. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. And there's Jason Whitlock. And they bring out this clipboard and he signs for it. And he eventually left before I did, because I was winning that morning, actually. One of the few mornings I won that week. And I turned to the croupier or the dealer and I said, what was that Whitlock sign? And he said, oh, he got a $5,000 marker. I was like, damn, how does that work? And I said, they just charge it to his room and he gets $5,000 cash, chips. I'm like, wow, that's a degenerate. 10 o'clock in the morning and you're out of cash. So obviously he'd been there before I got there and lost and needed more dough. Because wouldn't you just go to the cashier? No, he was like, just give me some more money, and signed for it. And I did okay that morning, as I remember. But anyway, what were we talking about before we way got off the ledge there?
Got me all Whitlock, and I'm trying to remember now.
Oh, Cornell. We were talking about Cornell and my experience being inside the ropes, where so it was one of the greatest experiences of my life. We were literally following Tiger, Jesper Parnevik. That's before he met Elin, because Elin was Jesper Parnevik's nanny, and that's how Tiger met him.
Before.
And Eddie Friat, and we called Oscar Lopez for like the next 2 or 3 years. Every time the first time I'd see Oscar for like the next 6 months, hiya, Eddie, because on the 10th hole, or no, the first hole, we're on the first hole. We walked the back now because they teed off on the back, and we're on the first hole. This is where we got kicked off, the par 5, and everybody hits it down the middle. Friat hits it left, and so somehow me, Tony, and Oscar got separated, and Oscar got ahead of us. Well, Friat had hit it left, and they had created that V of people. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And Friat couldn't. It's a par 5. So now Friat's back here, okay? Let's say at the 240-yard mark, right? Oscar has walked ahead of him, which is fine. He's inside the ropes, and he's ahead of him. Yeah. But now Friat is walking up to see where his ball is, And Oscar realizes he's ahead and he starts walking back. And they're about to cross one another. And I'm just like, oh my God. And that's why every time, and they literally like almost bumped shoulders. And it was no shock that we got tossed at the next green, because it was former FBI agents were their security. And they told us that we had manufactured, the passes were like these armbands. And they said that we manufactured them and threw us off the golf course. And I literally spent the next 3 months riding the PGA, riding the river. I was livid for 6 months. I was coming to work mad every day and writing letters to the PGA. I'm a credentialed member of the press. I was accused of manufacturing things. Here is my resume. Here is my boop, 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 boop. Never heard from him. Never heard from him. I was so mad. Kicked us off the golf course. It would have been different if they had taken our badges and checked to see that I was a credential, then said, well, now you just got to stay outside the ropes. No, they wanted us off Riviera.
To automatically assume that you manufactured them too without even looking into it that's
dragged me off the golf course. I'm like, I graduated from high school right up the street. You can't do this to Ralph Bailey. What's the matter with you? Let's go ahead and take our final break of the day. I think I'm doing Chick-fil-A tonight.
Okay.
And a little salad. I don't like the waffle fries.
Yeah.
I can't get used to them. They're good when they're hot. They're good if you eat them there or eat them like fries, obviously. Yeah. But you know what I'm warming up to, though? On my Sunday sojourns?
In-N-Out?
I'm warming up to In-N-Out fries. I really am. I took Bowden's advice, and I got them extra crispy.
Oh.
And they weren't bad.
You tried them animal style yet?
What's that, with the chili?
Well, it's not necessarily chili, but it's like the sauce on top.
Oh, no. I'm 60-something years old. I don't need all that cheese and all that. No.
I'm telling you.
I shouldn't be doing double-doubles.
This is true, but...
And, I do two. I have one for lunch when I get home, and then I have one for dinner that night.
And we wonder why the gout's back.
No kidding. No. I'm fine. Final break of the night. Keep it locked. Tomorrow's a Friday. Nick Ragone will join us. We're hoping our newfound field reporter at Bethpage Black, Alan Cornell, will join us live from Long Island. And whatever else breaks between now and 3:05, it's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM.
Do you want me to play Messmaker?
Yeah.
On the next Armstrong and Getty Show, one of the great tech leaders of our time tells us, get ready for the Antichrist. Wait, what? Really? Plus, the New York Times says it's such a shame.
DBA Messmaker and Peachtree Wealth Advisors. Any views expressed in this broadcast by us are prepared based upon the information available to us at the time, and we are under no obligation to update our views.
Carpet outlet. Every day is Saturday.
No one can beat us, no one can touch us. Don't find better prices. Shop and compare.
Ready? 3, 2. So all this rhetoric from the left has caused yet another shooter. We know more now about Joshua Jean. He was, in fact, aiming at ICE agents. He only accidentally shot the detainee or killed the detainee. And at some point, Democrats are going to have to look themselves in the face and realize that they are not part of the solution. They are part of the problem. 3, 2. It's that man again. Look what's coming up on the Friday TRBS. Our good friend Nick Ragone returns after the first day of the Ryder Cup. And we're hoping that we get a hold of my good friend Alan Cornell, who is at Bethpage Black on Long Island. He's our field reporter for the Ryder Cup. All that and me at 3. It's TRBS, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. I'll see you at 3.
Download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code PARTY5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank.
You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show. Catch me weekday morning 6 to 9 a.m. on First Look with Scott Cox, News Talk 96.1 at AM 1180 KERN.
It seems to me you've been playing a lot of Gladys these days.
I do come around to Gladys every so often.
Where did the trash can go? Oh, there it is.
With sides on it.
842, yeah, it did. 842-5376, 842-KERN. What do you got left?
Let's see. Ralph, now they give money to Dolores Huerta plus no money, and Bob is seeking re-election. That's nuts. Glad Mike Turnipseed talked about the Laredo trouble.
Is he being sarcastic about that? About Mike not talking about what he wanted to talk about? You guys can call into the broadcast. If you want to suggest a topic, if you want to go in a direction, if we're not talking about, I can't get everything on the rundown. And with all the national news, I've kind of really steered off local stuff. So I tried to have Cassie on to talk about the jail space thing. And that's why we have weekly local regulars, because, you know, with what's going on, it's hard not to focus on, you know, a shooting at an ICE agent or Russia invading the airspace of Poland. I mean, it's just, I know that, you know, that's the one thing I can do that nobody else that I go up against can do, and that's local. But with all that is going on nationally and internationally, it's really difficult. So be a part of the show, contribute. If you've got a topic that you want to talk about, text in or call in the show. What else you got?
Where there's smoke, there's fire. Something bad is going on at the CSUB athletics department.
Well, I don't know if it's something bad. Obviously, something bad happened. One of their players is accused of a very, very serious series of felonies. So, I mean, right there, obviously, the program is besmirched. And when something like that happens, it is only quite natural that you have to examine the people that were in charge while that was happening. I don't think this athletic director was there when Kevin Hayes was playing, but learning that Coach Barnes' son roomed with Kevin Hayes isn't good, but you can't find him or Coach Barnes guilty by association. But
it's Mays, by the way.
Mays, what am I saying?
Hayes.
It's a black eye on the whole sports department. There's no question about that. And I can't speculate. I refuse to do it. But, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if all these departures were connected to that. But the reality is, you know, I think Coach Barnes, and I love Coach Barnes, just a really nice man. And I think an incredibly knowledgeable basketball coach. Let's face it, the program, you know, has seen brighter days. I mean, when I was 30 years ago, you know, Pat Douglas took them back to back, and then they won another championship. And then I always said that getting into D1, I thought we did it prematurely. But I think it's been a good thing. But it's going to be a while before we're competitive. You know, it's tough to get A1 kids to come here, particularly now that they've got a portal where if you can't make it at UCLA, you can go across the street to USC, or you can go to any other big program, where the way, as opposed to where it used to be, when those cats couldn't make it at UCLA or a Pac-12 school, they could come and dominate a D2, you know, or go to a smaller D1 school and dominate, maybe then. But now the issue is, even if you can get a kind of a washed out D1 player who could dominate on our level, as soon as he starts to dominate, he's going to leave. if he gets an opportunity to go to a larger school. So it's, I think the portal has made it extremely difficult for smaller schools, particularly those small schools that are in small communities. It's tough, and let's be blunt. It's going to be tough to get a bunch of brothers to come to Bakersfield. And you want me to say that you don't need brothers on a basketball team? Okay, you don't need brothers on a basketball team. Nah. So it's going to be tough sledding, I think, for the basketball program over the next couple of years. I really do. And Coach Barnes will be missed. As I said, he was a gentleman. He was just a decent man. And I don't know many decent men. And he was kind, and he was extremely accessible, which is rare. We didn't get that out of Pat Douglas, I'll tell you that, boy. I once played golf with Pat Douglas, and he might have said 10 words to the whole threesome. He was the fourth of the foursome, but he might have said 10 words all day. And the reason they send out coaches to play in these things is to pump up the patrons and the supporters and the alumni, and it's about money. And Douglas didn't give a damn and said 10 words that whole day, 4.5 hours. 7 Oaks, I'll never forget it. And I was just like, I don't like this guy. Never really did. Never really did. He's a hell of a coach. Hell of a coach. Went down to Riverside and did some things there, but I was never a big fan of Pat Douglas. But Coach Barnes will be missed. He truly will be. 842-5376, 842-KERN. Who you got?
From one coach to another, Coach Kessler's on the line.
Coach, what's really going on?
Why can't they get them at UCLA? They got to go to USC. Why can't it be the other way around, baby?
We can't understand a word you just said.
You sound far away.
Are you on speaker or something?
Why can't it
there
be,
we go.
Why can't it be couldn't make it at USC, had to go to UCLA? Why can't it be the other way around, baby? What's going on now?
Because I'm a Bruin lover, even though I didn't get accepted to UCLA. I'm a Bruin lover.
You might have got into SC where the real people are. Try it, probably.
That's right, because it's a private school. I could have got my dad to pay for it. But you want to know the real reason I became a UCLA fan? I'm in 8th grade. I'm reading Sports Illustrated. They had a page of hats, and that blue and gold hat was so cool. And that was the first lid I wore in 7th and 8th grade. And that's how I became a UCLA fan. I swear to God.
Well, hey, funny story. I mean,
and John Wooden had a little bit to do with it too.
Listen, that guy, there's never, I don't care what anybody says, nobody will ever replace, ever be the same as that guy.
I agree.
Not at all. And we're the same age, so
yeah.
I watch it as well. So, but I like ribbing you, man. Hey, I'm glad to hear your golf game's back up. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, man, we got to play sometime. Seriously.
Yeah, seriously. I definitely want to play. Starting to slow down a little bit. Love to get out there and swing the club.
All right. Anytime, man. Anytime. Just let me know.
All right, brother.
All right. Always good to hear from you, Coach.
Care.
All right, you too.
Always good talking to you.
Say hi to the family for me.
Yeah.
Don Kessler, Cody Kessler's pop. That's why they're big SC fans. They're down there every weekend. He and the wife, they take a bunch of pictures all over Instagram. What do you call it? Tailgating and just partying and just having the time of the damn lives.
Cody's killing it for their for USC's.
Can you imagine being his parents and being at the Coliseum the night that he threw 6 touchdowns? They left the car at the Coliseum, and he and the wife just flew home.
Oh yeah,
they didn't even take the plane; they just flew home. I mean, I can't even imagine. I mean, my biggest thing was watching my nephew play Little League and coaching him at East High YMCA basketball. But sitting in the Coliseum and watching your son light it up? Are you kidding? Shoot. You know what? I would have been in the parking lot. I'd been like, God, you can take me now. I saw my son throw 6 touchdowns at college. Take me now, Lord. Take me now. No, I couldn't do that. Boy's going to be in the pros in a hot minute. Duke Lamugli. One more, and I'm going home.
Ralph, I think you're totally wrong.
Well, of course I am.
That Comey absolutely 100% should be prosecuted for his lies, for the hell he put Trump and his family through. He is a crook. He's crooked. He's corrupt, maybe almost as corrupt as Newsom. So, yes, even if it makes his life a living hell for a few months. Yes, he should be indicted and prosecuted.
That's what it's about. Because I didn't say he shouldn't be indicted. You're misquoting me. What I said, they will never, ever, ever get a conviction. This is about, you all made my life a living hell. You had me in and out of court during my own damn campaign. Now, taste this. That's all this is about. Taste this, James. Write checks to attorneys like I had to. Blow off vacations and everything you have to do because you have to be in court. That's what this is about. And if you want to be small, you can say, it's good for the goose. But that's what it's about. And that's what I said. He won't be convicted. I never said, he shouldn't go through the rigmarole. You think I give a damn about James Comey? But he ain't being convicted. I got to get out of here. For Chris Burdick, I'm Ralph Bailey. That's what's really going on. Rap to you tomorrow!
This is AM 1180 KERN. Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM. Bakersfield. Online at KERNradio.com.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Former FBI Director James Comey has been charged with making a false statement and obstruction. The criminal case filing comes days after President Trump appeared to urge his Attorney General to prosecute the former FBI Director. Prosecutors have been evaluating whether Comey lied to lawmakers during testimony in 2020 related to the investigation into alleged ties between Russia and Trump's 2016 presidential campaign. President Trump says he will not allow Israel to annex the West Bank. White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports.
Some Israeli politicians want to extend sovereignty over the occupied area and cut it off from East Jerusalem. But the president said not on his watch.
I will not allow Israel to annex the West Bank. No, I will not allow it. Not going to happen.
He said he discussed the issue with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu and emphasized that annexation must stop. Greg Clugston, the White House.
During a bilateral meeting with Turkish President Erdogan at the White House, President Trump says Democrats are responsible for any potential government shutdown.
They asked us to do something that's totally unreasonable. They never change. They want to give money away to illegally, people that entered our country illegally. They want to give them massive federal money.
The gunman who opened fire on an immigration and customs enforcement facility in Dallas hated the U.S. government and wanted to incite terror by killing federal agents. That's according to authorities. Citing handwritten notes found at his suburban home, officials said 29-year-old Joshua Johns set out to ambush the agency and then fatally shot himself following the assault. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 174, townhall.com.
Hi, everyone. Gina Bellich here with the Legal Help Center. And we have a special guest with us today, Super Bowl champ Vernon Davis. So Vernon, tell all of our radio listeners who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me join you here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, anyone who's been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, give us a call right now and find out how much money you could potentially get.
Thanks, Vernon. You heard it, folks. If you've been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, give us a call right now and find out how much money you could potentially get. Call 800-504-8790. That's 800-504-8790. 800-504-8790. Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Bill Robbins. A vehicle that crashed into a tree has left one man dead. Bakersfield police say it happened at around 1:30 this morning on Hageman Road, just east of Jewetta Avenue. A 24-year-old man was heading west in the 11,500 block of Hageman Road at high speed when he crashed into a tree. The impact caused him to be partially ejected from the vehicle. All ambulance responded. The man was declared dead at the scene. It's uncertain yet whether drugs or alcohol were factors in the crash. A federal court has ruled that Grimway Farms discriminated against disabled workers by forcing them into unpaid leave. According to the ruling, Grimway Farms failed to make reasonable accommodations for disabled workers. Dolores Huerta stated the conditions at Grimway were unsafe and that so many would get disabled there and the company would not take care of them. Beatrice Trejo is a workers' compensation specialist, and after reviewing the case, stated that the company did not follow the interactive process meant to help injured workers. After more than a year without a complete council, the city of Arvin welcomed new city council member Tim Tarver. Tarver expressing gratitude to those who supported him during Tuesday night's council meeting. Tarver is